Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
This is Sports Center.
I'm Doug Brown. Former Dolphins coach Brian Flores appeared on ESPN's Get Up today explaining why he filed his racial discrimination lawsuit against the NFL, the Broncos, Dolphins, and Giants.
We need change. We need change. I know many very capable black coaches, some of my staff who I know if given an opportunity or when given an opportunity are going to go and do a great job on their interview.
Flores said in his first year as Dolphins coach, he was offered $100,000 per loss by team owner Stephen Ross, who wanted to increase the value of the team's first-round pick. Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts having surgery on his left ankle. He's expected to recover in time for the team's offseason program in April. Hurts had a high ankle sprain in late November and struggled with mobility for the rest of the season. Speed skater Brittany Bowe and curler John Schuster will be the American flag bearers in the Olympics opening ceremony Friday. Bowe is replacing bobsledder Elena Myers-Taylor, who's now in isolation after a positive COVID-19 test.
Do you own or rent your home? Sure you do. Fortunately, Geico makes it easy to bundle your home and car insurance. It's a good thing, too, because having a home is hard work. Go to geico.com, get a quote, and see how much you could save. Geico.com. Easy.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios.
This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
It's so quiet, I'm going to start with this.
Okay.
Think about some things that you do. You know how everybody always like, can you like pat, wait, was it like rub your stomach and pat your head?
Yeah.
Are you coordinated enough to do that?
Yeah.
Well, something just happened to me, and I'm like, this might be one of the hardest things to control and do.
Okay.
And when it's pollen season, you got some allergy stuff happening.
Yep.
And you have to go to the bathroom, and you're taking a pee, and you sneeze.
Okay.
It's bounds for disaster.
You can't hold the sneeze till after you're done?
Now when you got to really sneeze and you really got to pee.
Dang.
You ever do that?
No. I can't say that I have.
Well.
Case of you?
Don't try it at home.
No.
Yeah, man. I feel like that's not possible.
Oh, it's possible. It just happened. In
Okay.
fact, twice all in the same pee.
Okay. This is quite the...
Should I be dumping this?
Yeah, I don't know. This is quite the...
This is real life stuff here.
Well, there's a lot of
these
real
are real life
stuff.
problems that I have.
Sure.
Like it just happened.
Okay.
Needless to say,
I don't know what to tell you, man.
I had to wash down the bathroom after all
Hey,
that.
this was not in the rundown today. That's all I'm going to say.
I'm just telling you. I mean, keeping it real.
Okay. Is it the bathroom that I use? Should I be like? Should I worry?
I mean, it cleaned up after myself.
Okay. Good to know.
I will say, like, but it did get me thinking a little bit. It's like, what are some of the things that, like, you might try to do at the same time that are not easy to do?
Oh, man.
And, like, I'll say this.
Yeah.
Like, driving and using your phone is not a very good idea.
Nope.
Right?
No, it's a horrible idea.
It's a dangerous idea.
Could be one of the worst ideas
Sneezing
ever.
and going to the bathroom, not really as dangerous.
Sure.
Maybe a little more messy, but not as dangerous.
Yep.
I couldn't even come up with anything else, but that's my question to start the show, and you have 3 hours to figure it out.
Man.
That's it.
Okay.
You don't have to come up with an answer right now.
Well, I'm trying to compare it to what you just went through. And, like, nothing's
good luck.
really, yeah, man. It's going to take me a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, you get show topics everywhere.
Yeah, I guess so, man.
And I'm just sharing everything with you guys.
We appreciate
An
it. Open book. Absolutely.
Happy Wednesday, everyone. Jaguars still don't have a coach. And it's really kind of hit the skids a little bit, huh?
Correct.
Last thing we know is Spielman. We discussed that yesterday. Last thing we know is Doug Peterson.
Yep.
And do you believe that what Jim Harbaugh is supposedly interviewing in Minnesota today?
Yeah.
Patrick Graham interviewed for a long time yesterday. Josh McCown was rumored yesterday to be set to land the job in Houston, but I haven't seen anything official on that. Have you guys seen that?
No.
And so I asked this question at the end of yesterday's show with the Brian Flores news and the lawsuit, and now a media tour this morning. Is the NFL collecting itself? And is the NFL kind of like, wait a minute, stop. Don't add fuel to the fire.
Yeah.
Right? Like, whatever coaching search you have going on right now, let's think about this.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that crosses my mind because let's be honest. What was taking place in Minnesota was about to go down kind of the way, in our opposite way of what happened with Flores in New York, at least that he alleges. Because everybody said on Monday, basically, Harbaugh's lined up to get the job in Minnesota.
Yeah.
He thinks he's getting the job. And then I think it's Patrick Graham had like a 9-hour interview yesterday in Minnesota. And it's like, wait a minute, you're bringing Jim Harbaugh in to get the job, though, right?
Yeah.
And so is that going to be a bad look on the NFL? Like, I just wonder if there's some kind of circling of the wagons in the NFL. Why is wait a minute, Josh McCown, white guy, no coaching experience? You're about to make this hire seriously when Brian Flores was a candidate? Am I conspiracy theorying here, or is there a possibility that the NFL has said, hey, don't make any decisions today. Don't make any announcement today. This is a huge allegation. This is a potential big problem. And let's, at least from a PR perspective, figure out how the next steps of this could possibly go down.
So then what are they going to do? Just tell teams, hey, just wait a couple weeks to announce it until it cools off?
I'm not saying a couple weeks. I
Well,
just think
what-
the immediate day. I
Yeah.
mean, we are like, it's for a lot of people. Like I talked to some people today, not like in the NFL, just some fans. Like, yeah, I woke up this morning. Well, for us, it happened like on the show yesterday, right? So
Yeah.
not everybody sees it as quickly as we do. People woke up and watched CBS this morning. They watched ESPN. They're watching Brian Flores with these allegations. We're getting more info and intel and had a little bit more time to digest what was said. We're getting more reaction from Marvin Lewis now and from Hugh Jackson and from players about Brian Flores. And so I'm not telling you that, no, they're going to not hire anybody for 2 weeks. They might still hire McCown. They might still hire Harbaugh. And who knows what happens here in Jacksonville. But I just kind of wonder if collectively and even quietly the NFL said, let's not add fuel to the fire of the optic machine here by announcing Josh McCown, who has never been a head coach, who will beat out Brian Flores for the head coaching job, and you're going to announce that on the day he files a suit and does a media tour.
I think if the National Football League was truly worried about optics, they wouldn't release a press release and a statement a couple hours after the fact saying that they've done some research and they will defend against these claims, which are without merit, when you have no idea if they're factual or not. So I don't think the NFL is really worried about the optics right now. So I don't think the NFL is going to teams saying, hey, you guys better chill out a little bit about these hirings until we say so. I don't think so.
You don't think that's happening?
No.
Okay, so you just think it's a slow day? And
Yeah, I think it's a slow day.
I'm not arguing. I'm really
Yeah.
just presenting.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is. But I could see, listen, optics are a big deal. Like, a lot of people will say perception is reality. Is it always? Well, in the mind, listen, it has been with the Jags search. We don't know what reality is with the Jags search, but from an optic and a perception point of view, it's a complete disaster. And that's now because the Jags aren't saying anything, or anybody with the Jags like Shad Khan or anybody else, and there's no statements or anything of the sort. Well, that's what it is until somebody says otherwise. And right now, the NFL is in an optics nightmare and a reality nightmare, because perception is reality, even though it might take years or months to figure out these allegations for Brian Flores. But the idea that it came out when it did in the midst of a hiring cycle, on the verge of potentially Harbaugh being announced as a head coach, Josh McCown being announced as a head coach, I just wouldn't be that surprised if they're like, hey, continue on with what you're doing and your decision-making, but let's not make any announcements today.
Yeah, I mean, maybe, but I think the NFL's got bigger fish to fry in terms of trying to stop the bad optics from Flores, number one, and now Hugh Jackson suggesting that he got paid extra for losses as a Browns head coach as well.
Yeah.
So you're in a sinking ship right now, and I think you're worried about the smallest hole when the new coaching cycle is coming. Like, at the end of the day, if Jim Harbaugh gets hired today, tomorrow, a week from now, 2 weeks from now, people are going to question that decision. because of what Flores has said now, what he's brought to light, until the allegations are either, proved true or false, but they're going to question those allegations. So to me, the NFL coming out and saying, hey, you guys just relax the next couple of days, let's let it kind of blow over. I don't see it blowing over. I think the NFL's got bigger problems to fry.
On the team level, though, I wouldn't do it if I was Houston. I would not hire a coach
if
today.
If you're gonna hire Josh McCown, you mean? I mean, that's on you. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, I mean,
well, listen.
I don't know. Like for instance, if the Jaguars know they're going to hire Doug Peterson, are they going to wait now because of what Brian Flores did?
I don't think so.
I'm not sure.
But here's where the Jags do get a little bit of a break on that front, right? From the perception standpoint, they have a minority owner. I don't think anybody's going to assume the Jags are being racist in their or discriminatory in their hiring process when you have a minority owner.
Sure,
is that fair to say?
I mean, maybe, but one could say what happened with Byron Leftwich. I mean, we don't know what happened with Byron Leftwich.
Well, we don't know, no.
So, I mean, people can make assumptions there as well.
Yeah. I'm not saying it doesn't discredit any assumptions. I'm just saying Houston can't say that. Houston has a lot of different issues. They've been alleged by people in the media have outwardly said things of that nature. And they have had their own issues inside the building. They have a black quarterback that wants to get out of the organization. And they might be, and Flores, by the way, is in that hiring search. It looks like he's a finalist up until yesterday at the very least.
That's what I'm saying. You can't, if you're Houston, I wouldn't at least hire Josh McCown
listen,
at all. But
that's
especially
the problem,
today.
because he's not, to me, him being white, is that an issue? It might be. But the qualifications for Josh McCown, I think if Houston hires Doug Peterson today, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Houston hiring Josh McCown over some possible candidates, yeah, that's going to raise eyebrows for sure.
For other reasons, right?
Of
that's
course.
for credentials.
Yes.
But I just think it magnifies it even more, right?
Yeah, of course.
You got a guy, and by the way, this is what's wild about the process. This is a very tough job. Somebody said this. I think I was talking to Ben Becker yesterday, and he was saying, what's the success rate of an NFL coach? If you look at the last, he brought up, last 20 years, and I didn't go do this, I probably should have. But, is it 10%, 15%? How many people get hired, each year in the NFL? Well, I would say on average about 4 or 5, right? Mm-hmm. New hires, which would mean in the last 20 years, teams have recycled through probably 4 or 5 coaches in that span outside of, the Steelers and the Patriots, and maybe a couple others in there, the Chiefs and the Eagles, because they had them for a while. So those Andy Reid for a while. So and Harbaugh in Baltimore. So there are examples. But what's amazing about this cycle, and separate from the Flores suit, is that you have guys out there that have actually done well in the NFL that aren't getting sniffs. Peterson has a Super Bowl trophy. Mm-hmm. Caldwell has some good years in the NFL. Mike Zimmer, again, not the fan of Mike Zimmer, but he's 25 games over 500 in the NFL. Brian Flores is a guy that had Miami on the doorstep of the playoffs 2 years in a row. And I think the stat is something before Flores got there in 10 or 12 years, they had 1 winning season. He had 2, And so you have these, forget about what is going on right now for the moment in the lawsuit, but you have 4 coaches I just named that actually have had success in the NFL, that are looking for jobs in the hiring cycle and have not been hired. In a league that disappoints a lot, that there's a lot of failure rate in the coaching ranks. Mm-hmm. That a league here in Jacksonville, the most successful coaches are just a shade over 500. Tom Coughlin, Jack Del Rio is either just over 500 or right under 500 for his career. So it's pretty fascinating in its own right that there are coaches out there that seem to be qualified with a decent resume that haven't been hired, no matter their color.
Yeah, I think each coach brings their own reservations of why you should hire them. I've been very adamant about Mike Zimmer. You can't be a defensive-minded coach and have one of the worst defenses in the NFL. I think with Doug Peterson of how he left Philadelphia, I think some coaches might be a little turned off to that. So, every coach brings his own dynamics of why you may be reserved about hiring him. But, yeah, the record speaks for itself, and I think, I would rather have a guy like Doug Peterson. I'd rather have a guy maybe even like Mike Zimmer over an unproven coach and a first-year coach and a guy like Josh McCown. Maybe Josh McCown's going to be the future. Maybe Josh McCown's going to be the reincarnation of Bill Belichick. Who knows? But I think from Houston's perspective, if that truly is the case that they're looking towards Josh McCown, that's a very big risk to ask on your organization, coming from just firing a coach who actually exceeded expectations, number one, and coming from a team a couple years ago who was absolutely in shambles in terms of bad optics.
I think about that a lot, right? And I've said this a lot, and you get caught up. And I like to go back to the basic thoughts of what we've had. If you really go back to this whole process 6 weeks, it's gotten so muddy. We've had a lot of conversations. We try to talk around it a little bit, and not around it in a negative way, just talk around it from Shad's point of view, from the fans' point of view, from the organization's point of view, from our point of view, all these different ways. Well, what you can't lose, I think there's a simplification of this when it comes, in my opinion, to like Trent Baalke, right? This whole big firestorm of a story. And I think it's very simplistic. And it's got to do with the Jags being not as good as everybody else, not just with Baalke, but some of the people they've had in the building over these last handful of years. And one is, okay, Baalke, what have you done to earn the job of GM? I would say very little. Like very little to say, wow, look at this resume, man. Unbelievable. Especially most recently, especially here in Jacksonville. There's nothing that jumps out and like, wow, yeah, definitely.
All he's done to earn GM is the fact he's been GM before.
That's it. So, and that he's under contract. Right.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, so, quite frankly, I think it's because he was tied to Meyer a little bit and under contract, and that's one of the big reasons why he's still employed as the GM.
Yeah, I guess. But do you think Shad Khan? I mean, look at how many people Shad Khan's had to pay now.
I don't think Shad Khan would mind doing it,
okay.
But the fact that he doesn't have to think about it necessarily right off the rip because he was under contract.
No, sure, but I feel like it's to the point of this fan base right now. If under contract is the big concern, this fan base would start a GoFundMe page and buy out Trent Baalke themselves.
Right. Yeah, and by the way, I am not one of those folks that think like he's a cheap owner or anything like. I think there are some people that think he's not willing to spend as much as you want him to spend. I'm not one of those folks on Shad Khan. I think his history says so. But it's just my point is, what has he done to earn the job? And I think we would say not a lot in terms of Trent Baalke. The other thing, and I think this is a bigger one, when you're the bottom of the barrel in the NFL, again, this is one of my just simplistic early thoughts on this whole process. When you're at the bottom of the barrel of the NFL, and you have been, you might be the bottom of the barrel, quite frankly, right now. You've had the number one pick 2 years in a row. Well, why, if you're the bottom of the barrel, are you picking from candidates that are in the bottom of the barrel? Meaning Trent Baalke would not be a GM anywhere else in the league right now, right? Like I've said before, Tom Coughlin, you could make the case, wouldn't have been an executive vice president anywhere else in the league. Like you're giving him a job that he wouldn't have anywhere else in the NFL. And so I think that can be very problematic for right now the Jacksonville Jaguars. Well, nothing says that more than what Houston's trying to do. Right? Houston has a bunch of issues, and Josh McCown is a guy who's never done this before. And so when you do that, there's two things. You're picking from the bottom of the barrel, and that's just a bad place to pick from, or you're trying to be so smart and you're a genius and it really works out. Like in the McCown situation, he turns out to be, listen, this was a guy with just extra circumstances that we just know he's going to be a home run hire. And it doesn't matter. This guy's going to deliver. He's going to be the greatest coach Houston's ever had. And you watch. And if he delivers like that, then we'll come back and we'll be like, wow, man, Houston was pretty smart, right? I mean, the guy had never had any experience. Nobody else would have done this. And so there's two ways to go when you're doing things that are a little bit out of the norm. The Jags have done things out of the norm. Trent Baalke would not have a job anywhere else in the NFL right now. That's out of the norm. Is Shad being a genius by keeping Trent Baalke? I would argue no. Or is he just like settling? And I think there's only two ways to go with that. Josh McCown, are you settling? Or are you being a genius and trying to make a move that nobody else would do and be brash in doing so?
No, Houston's not settling because Houston has other options if they wanted to. To me, this is like Nick Sirianni from last year. Nick Sirianni was the bottom of the barrel. At least that's what we all thought because we had no idea who that guy was.
Yeah, true.
Nick Sirianni goes to Philadelphia and wins 9 games. When everybody in the NFL thought, hey, these guys might win maybe 5-6 games at the most. They go to the playoffs. Nick Sirianni's first year. Philadelphia took Nick Sirianni because, well, number one, they didn't really know he was going to bring to the table, but it was a good fit for them. It worked for the Philadelphia Eagles, obviously, so far. Now, we'll see. Time will tell. But for the first year, if I'm an Eagles fan, I got to like what I see in Sirianni and how the Eagles are playing. So that was the best fit for them. With Josh McCown, yeah, you're thinking outside the box. You're taking a giant risk. I don't know how Josh McCown's going to be as a head coach, once again, because I've never seen him coach before. He really doesn't have a resume. He might come in and be a special guy. I'm just saying from Houston's perspective, it's hard to justify taking that big of risk when you don't know. When you're supposed to when you're coming up bad optics and you need I think just a clear-cut reserve type of coach, and Josh McCown's not that guy. The difference between a Josh McCown and a Nick Sirianni, though, is we know what Trent Baalke has done because Trent Baalke's resume speaks for itself. So it's not like you're saying, well, are you settling? Well, you absolutely are settling because you know what Trent Baalke can do. You don't know what Josh McCown can do. I think it's going to be bad, but we don't honestly know. So go ahead and take your chance, Houston, see what happens. Philadelphia, they took a chance. This isn't a chance here in Jacksonville. You know what Trent Baalke's all about. You know his resume. You know his history in San Francisco 49ers. You know the stuff with Urban Meyer. So that's the fundamental difference right now is, yeah, you are settling on what you know. It's not what it could be. It's what you know.
Let me ask you this question, and I don't know if you can. We've been talking about it so much, so it's a very hard thing to do. Take kind of like the pre-thoughts, all the conversation we've had out of it. It might be an impossible thing to ask. The emotion out of it, of the fan base. If I'm asking this question in Seattle or in Chicago or Green Bay, and I say, what's more insane, crazy, the Jaguars right now keeping Trent Baalke or Houston hiring Josh McCown?
The Jaguars keeping Trent Baalke, hands down.
Even in those places?
In Chicago? Like, what would the difference be?
Well, because what I'm trying to do is get out of the emotion of it all, Austin. Like trying to get.
I mean, there's no emotion here. Like, this is facts. I don't know what Josh McCown's going to be as a head coach. I have no idea. Like he could be the worst ever. He could be, like I said, he could relate to the locker room. He might be talented. I have no idea. But I do know Trent Baalke's resume says that he is not a very good GM. That I know for a fact. We have zero facts right now on Josh McCown. We do have facts on Trent Baalke. So my answer is Trent Baalke.
I don't think that would be the. I think people would be more like, this guy doesn't even have anything on his resume that says he can coach. Like, at least Trent Baalke says he's been a GM and he's gone to a Super Bowl. Again, this isn't defending. I'm just looking from the outside. Sure. Like, how appalling is it that Josh McCown is going to be a head coach in the NFL when he's never coached a down of football in his life?
And how many locker rooms has he been in?
Yeah, plenty.
Okay, so that's experience. Once again, I'm not defending Josh McCown.
No, and I'm
here.
not defending Baalke. I'm seriously just asking from the outside. I think this is like super alarming that McCown, when all these guys, everybody, not white or black or anybody, all these guys are trying to work their way up the ladder to be head coaches.
Well, we don't even know what Houston wants to do with Josh McCown. Is he going to be calling the plays? Is he just going to be a head coach? Because if you're a head coach, you got to change a culture around. I mean, if we're talking about a guy who's been on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 different teams in the National Football League, 12 different locker rooms, 12 different head coaches, 12 different culture settings. If he's been through that many coaches and culture settings, well, then maybe he might have a good idea of how to change a culture. Not maybe call the X's and O's part, but maybe he knows what a good team looks like, what a good regime looks like, and what a good culture looks like. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. It's the unknown right now. He might fall flat on his face, but at least with Josh McCown, there's a chance he might be great. I don't think Trent Baalke, there's a chance because I know what Trent Baalke brings to the table.
Interesting.
To your point, though, I think what you're trying to say is, like, do people in Seattle know Trent Baalke exists?
Yeah, do they factor the GM to that degree where the focal point of a franchise is quarterback and head coach usually? But I mean, it's just a question thrown out there. I think you're both right, one way or another. I do think it's like, wow, and again, where you're supposed to have the best of the best, like, not too many people get hired in positions of any kind with no experience. You're one of the few.
Yeah, sure. What do you mean, one of the few?
Yeah, like radio.
Oh, I mean, I went to school for it, but appreciate that. So, okay, let me ask you this, though.
The price was right.
Oh, yeah, that too. Yeah, go try to replace me with what I'm getting paid. So when we talk about Nick Sirianni, I mean, like, if you watch Nick Sirianni's press conference the first day in the NFL.
Yeah, it was bad, yeah.
Yeah. Do you think Eagles fans were the most pumped up to have Nick Sirianni as their head coach?
No, we're making fun of the guy.
And then maybe they would have taken Trent Baalke over Nick Sirianni even. But now we're here. So I just think dealing with the unknown, I'd rather take the risk of the unknown than what I know.
Yeah. Want to get Austin on the line real quick? He's here with me in studio, too. but apparently you're on the phone as well.
I like it.
Austin, Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Is this Austin with an E or an I?
It's Austin with an I.
Of course it is. Not too many E's, you know. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing good. I was just calling because it's crazy that I've heard about it. I was listening to the radio this morning, and I see on the back of the football helmet "End Racism."
Mm-hmm.
And now all the coaches are and all this came up, and I can't believe it. And then
Also, I think we're kind of you're breaking up, man. We're losing you.
Bear with me.
Okay, no problem.
There, might be losing him a little bit. Let me. If you can hear us, we'll give you one try here, or welcome to call back too. But when you get in a better spot, how important do you think this lawsuit though is for Flores to bring attention to more than just having it on the back of a helmet?
All right, Austin, go ahead.
So like that's what I was calling about. Was like I play Madden too, and I know EA Sports is different than NFL because I mean I know they have the license and all that, but still, if your helmet's going to say "End Racism," then there shouldn't be any racism. And I think that whoever the coaches and the GMs and all that need to sit down, and it's just crazy.
Yeah, appreciate it, Austin. Thanks for the call, man. Appreciate jumping in on the topic. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 904-362-9901. And yeah, listen, I will say this, and this is just because the way it is. I mean, the end racism, the signage in the end zones, the signage on helmets, the stickers on helmets, that is a very new initiative, right? Yep. And that is not like, by the way, that doesn't mean like it shouldn't need to be on a helmet, right, to not happen. But it's not like this has been a core value of the NFL, like that they've really thrown out there for the last 30 years and said, we are working. This is a very new initiative that they have rallied around. And so to say that the Flores suit and things like that still occur, well, that's deeper than just the last couple of years and putting a sticker on a helmet. I mean, that's the way it's been in the NFL and around the coaching ranks for quite some time.
Without this coming across as too, I guess, just mean or insensitive, I think the NFL tries to be on the right side of history when it can benefit them. And what I mean by that is when one of their own, Colin Kaepernick, did what he did and Eric Reed followed suit, the NFL was nowhere to be seen to have their backs, right? A lot of people weren't there to have Colin Kaepernick or Eric Reed back. They were ostracized. They were cast out. Colin Kaepernick more than Reed, but they were ostracized because of it. And then you fast forward to whatever the case was 5-6 years later, and you see a bunch of racial injustice happening in the streets, and you see teams, themselves taking initiative and trying to protest against that, and players coming together and players educating. Then all of a sudden the NFL goes, whoa, man, all these players in the NFL, they're, speaking out against this stuff. We have to get on board as well. They didn't have that same energy way back. It was only that energy when every player in the NFL spoke out against, or at least predominantly every player in the NFL spoke out against it. And then the NFL got on board. Why? Because, maybe, and I truly, listen, I don't think the NFL has ill will for the most part, and I guess a majority of me wants to believe that their heart is in the right spot, and they actually do believe what they're preaching, but it is kind of a convenience when you have players speaking out against it, and all of a sudden the NFL comes forward and says, okay, well, we're with you guys now. Like the whole Colin Kaepernick, we just, that was a different time. We're with you now. Yeah. So, they're obviously like, you can say "end racism" on your helmet, and you can do all these things, but the actions speak louder than the words. Like the words get the conversation going, and that's fantastic. That's a start, but it's just a start, nor even close to the finish. I think actions speak louder than words. And if what Brian Flores is what he's saying is it's true, well, then those actions are going to amplify way louder than any sticker on a helmet or any message in end zone's ever going to do.
Well, they can make the acknowledgement. They can try to change. That obviously isn't happening overnight, hasn't changed yet, and there's still a long way to go if these allegations are correct on the Flores front. And by the way, take the lawsuit with Flores out of it. there is still a chance you have 9 openings in the NFL, have no black head coach named, and you have Mike Tomlin as the only African-American coach in the NFL. That's problematic without a lawsuit, right? And it was problematic going into this hiring cycle. And it's like, hey, we're yelling about this, we're talking about this, and, well, no action, really, by any of the owners or teams as of yet. When it comes to the head coach. We talk more about it. The latest on the Senior Bowl, the latest on the Jag search, and much, much more. Happy signing day to all the kids and parents and schools out there. It's a big day for a lot of kids in a lot of sports across the area and across the country. We'll be back on ESPN 690.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Partly sunny and mild today. An isolated brief shower closer to the coast, but mostly dry with highs in the low to mid 70s. Cooler at the beaches. We'll drop into the low to mid 50s tonight, and a partly sunny and pretty warm day tomorrow. Your Thursday high up to 77. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish. Join me today beginning at 5 p.m. on CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds. Get the guaranteed lowest price at the only locally owned diamond store in the St. John's Town Center. Do you know why you see so much camera footage of crimes? Wasn't the camera supposed to deter the crime in the first place? That's because they weren't safe touch cameras. You don't want to see someone breaking into your car. You want to see it before it happens. That's what safe touch cameras do. They alert you via text or video notification beforehand, giving you time to react to the situation. And safe touch cameras have 24/7 video storage in the cloud, the safest and securest way to store important events that only you, the safe touch customer, control. And here's the best news yet. You can get the safe touch surveillance system with 3-color cameras, 24-hour recording, secure storage for as little as $39.95 per month, including 24/7 service, cloud storage, and camera warranty. Camera installation is additional charge. This system will work with any security system or no security system at all. Or bundle the 2-way communicator package for additional savings. Find out how you can get a free survey and demonstration at safetouch.com. State license number EF0000233.
It's where I take my family to play golf, and you can take yours as well. The Golf Club at Southampton. It's the home of the Action Sports Jax Dream 18, and it can be your golf destination. Enjoy your golf experience by calling 287-PLAY, 287-PLAY. Play some golf, or maybe practice some golf at one of the newest facilities in the area. Grab some lunch or dinner too. Southampton has it all. 287-PLAY for tee times and more. The Golf Club at Southampton, the home of the Dream 18. My home course. Make it your home course too.
Men suffering from ED or PE? Has Viagra or Cialis let you down? Prime Men's Medical Center is featuring Restore Wave, the latest in non-invasive ED treatment. You'll see results on your first visit or pay nothing. Call 904-618-3497. That's 904-618-3497.
It's not easy being the one everyone counts on to keep the facility running, no matter the weather or supply chain hiccup. But we get you, Raymond in Buffalo, and Maria in Miami, Jules in Minneapolis, and Stan in Central Indiana, taking control of everything that's under your control. At Grainger, we're here for you with experienced branch staff at over 250 locations, so you get the product you're looking for. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
2022 deals have arrived at your First Coast Acura dealers. Don't wait. Reserve your on-order Acura today. Plus, your current vehicle has never been worth more, and we'll pay top dollar for your trade. FirstCoastAcuraDealers.com.
People sometimes may wonder why they need a big law firm after their injury. Name one small insurance company. Couldn't think of one, could you? Didn't think so. Most insurance companies are big, really big. They have thousands of lawyers. Imagine it's a beautiful day, sun is shining, birds singing, you're on your way to work, and then bam, your whole life changes in that second. Forever. You're injured, and now you have to fight for justice or live your life in pain. Let me give you some straight talk. Your opponent is not the driver of the car that hit you. It's their insurance company. When you're fighting to get what you deserve, it's go big or go home. We are big for a reason, which is why we've recovered over $9 billion for our clients. Over $1 billion in one case alone. When it comes to law, size matters. We're America's largest injury law firm, Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Offices, Jacksonville.
The Rocket Mortgage Super Bowl Square Sweepstakes is back, and we're kicking off the action again with the largest official game of Super Bowl Squares ever. Here's the play-by-play. There's millions of dollars in prizes, and a bunch of lucky fans are gonna win big. Every single score change will draw one lucky winner from the square to win $50,000. That means touchdowns, field goals, extra points, safeties, even a 2-point conversion is a winner. 50 G's. Plus, 2 grand prize winners will win $500,000 they could use toward their dream home. There's one way to enter, 2 ways to win, and 0 reasons not to play. See rules and get in the game for free at RocketMortgageSquares.com. Rocket Mortgage, official mortgage sponsor of Super Bowl 56.
No purchase necessary. Legal residence of the 50 U.S. and D.C. of age of majority. Ends 11/11/22. Equal housing lender licensed all 50 states. NMLS number 3030. The NFL entities have not offered or sponsored this promotion in any way.
Don't let a cold keep you up. Take NyQuil Severe for max strength relief for your worst cold and flu symptoms so you can rest tonight and get back at it tomorrow. NyQuil Severe gives you powerful relief for your worst cold and flu symptoms. NyQuil Severe temporarily relieves common cold and flu symptoms, including cough, sore throat, headache, minor aches and pains, fever, runny nose, and sneezing. NyQuil, the nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, stuffy head, best sleep with a cold medicine. Use as directed.
Getting your guaranteed maximum refund with TaxSlayer feels like discovering a refund tree has grown in your backyard.
I'm the refund tree.
Sawing off its branches.
Hey.
Feeding them through a wood chipper.
My branches! My beautiful branches!
And dancing in its refund rain. Start for free and get your guaranteed maximum refund. TaxSlayer. File fearlessly.
The NFL is on. Key, Jay, and now Max Kellerman.
Here's a guy that you drafted in the first round that you think could potentially be the successor to Aaron Rodgers in the future, but could he at least be a damn backup?
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. Weekday mornings at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN2.
I think those text messages confirmed a lot of what a lot of us, black minority coaches already feel. That we're going into these and they're shams. It confirmed that. There's a belief in, look, that was just a mistake by Belichick. We've all sent the wrong text message to somebody. Mm-hmm. But in this instance, it came to me, and it was almost, it was confirmation that those backroom dealings were happening.
That is Brian Flores. I don't know which program. He was all over the place today. That was either Get Up or CBS, and has been on a lot of different outlets here on this Wednesday. I liked what he said there. It's like, listen, some people text the wrong person and you get caught texting the wrong person. Some things worse than that. But this was like obvious to me. Mm-hmm. And by the way, I don't disagree with Flores. I think we talked about this yesterday. The Rooney Rule has set this up. Mm-hmm. It has good intentions, but it sets it up that if I have a candidate in mind, I still have to do other interviews.
Yeah.
Because of the Rooney Rule. Mm-hmm. And so then it puts minority coaches in a spot where they're being interviewed just as a token interview.
Yeah, they're charity interviews at the end of the day.
Yeah, and by the way, there's if they're taken seriously, the interviews, well then there might be some benefit. There could be a benefit for a young coach interviewing. Get it under his belt, get comfortable in the situation, present a plan, like a practice run, even though you're not getting the job. Mm-hmm. But then for the next time it comes around, now you're more ready. You know what to expect. Mm-hmm. And so, again, does the Rooney Rule have some good intentions? And does it allow for some good things potentially? Yes, but it also opens the door for this. When you have to put a number on something and minimize something and have a quota to it, so to speak, well, then it creates opportunities for the system to go bad and at the expense of coaches. I mean, again, we might be seeing it right now in Minnesota. Mm-hmm. And if Jim Harbaugh is really their target, then the interview with Patrick Graham might have been for naught. Mm-hmm. Now, they also might have been really interviewing Patrick Graham because he might be their second choice if Harbaugh says, no, I'm going to go back to Michigan. I mean, as an owner or as a hiring firm or hiring whoever, you have to be ready for that. I mean, I would hope you would take the interviews sincerely just in case you have to pivot.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah.
So, by the way, this is one more example. Remember when we had this conversation last week, and I was talking about Hackett, and it's like, how would Hackett potentially be your number one guy, and you'd save that interview for last?
Okay.
Well, this is one of the examples why you might save the interview that you're front runner. If you have a finalist of 3 and you're front runner of an interview to last, like they interviewed Daboll before they interviewed Flores. In New York. If they had interviewed Flores first, then they could make their decision on Daboll once it confirmed to them that he was their number one choice and done that interview last.
Wait, so you're saying that's why you say what with Hackett now? I'm sorry, I'm a little confused.
We had this conversation last week when I thought maybe why couldn't Hackett be the number one choice of the Jacksonville Jaguars?
And the argument is because, they didn't really pursue him, it seemed like.
Well, yeah, and why would they have waited till Thursday to interview him instead of going after Eberflus and then Leftwich? Which I think is a fair argument. I'm just saying this wouldn't be one reason why you would interview like Minnesota's doing. If they go into this situation where Harbaugh's their front runner, they're interviewing him last, so they basically can confirm that and not be blown away by somebody else in the meantime. And if the Giants did it that way, if Daboll was their front runner, then they would have avoided this kind of situation. You know what I mean? Where it looks like they're just not doing a token interview after the fact, even though Daboll in their mind had already got the job.
I got you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was just a relation to our story.
Yeah.
It would prevent teams, whether they're trying to be malicious or not, or intent, or of just giving token and charity interviews, but it would prevent that if you were to, in my opinion, put your number one candidate going into your finalist process as your last interview.
Yeah, but then you lose the risk of losing that guy.
Well, you could. Like the Jags, like that's why we had that discussion.
And if the Hackett was truly their top guy,
Again, that's just a plausible scenario, right?
Yeah.
And then they lost their guy.
Correct.
Right. So it's an interesting process nonetheless. There's loopholes potentially all over the place and disaster scenarios depending on how you present it. And in this case, a totally different kind of potentially disaster scenario for the New York Giants. We still have Austin we have Austin. 2 Austin phone calls to start the show.
Back-to-back Austin.
And this is a different Austin. Were we convinced this is a different Austin? No, we're not convinced.
Is this me?
Hey, it's you.
How you guys doing?
Are you the same Austin that just called in?
No, I'm a different Austin. I live up in North Carolina. I've been a lifelong Jags fan, man.
Are you Austin with an E or Austin with an I?
It's got to be an I.
Austin with an I, man.
All right.
That figures.
No, what you got, man? Jags ever going to find a coach?
Yeah, I wanted to talk about that drama. What I've been thinking is, okay, I have a lot of respect for Sean Conn. You know, he took over the Jags. He said he was going to keep us here. He's put so much money into the Jags. He's a very smart guy, you know, and I believe a lot of Jags fans kind of feel like he's lost. And I'm wondering if he's just taking a different approach this year. You know, is he trying to evaluate every single coach and try to do it differently, possibly, and make a right decision? You know, maybe have a name of a guy that he really likes and maybe might go back to, but just wants to look at other people first? Or do you think he could be kind of lost in this process and struggling? And we've had no updates as Jags fans, you know, so our Jags fans are running around with their heads cut off and don't know what's going on. And all we can do is speculate. But just wanted to get y'all's opinion on, do y'all think Shad Khan, basically just that, guys.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it, Austin. Thanks for the call, man. Good to have you listening from North Carolina. You know, essentially, is he taking his time? Is he trying to find the right guy and through that process, or is he kind of lost? Well, I think the perception is it's a misguided and it has a lack of direction. At some point, their direction changed and had some, misguided nature to it to be going on this long. Yeah. This seems way too long for a team that had a 2-week head start on the rest of the field, and even more, but definitely a head start, to now be here in February, some 35 days after the first interview of Doug Peterson, and not really know if you're going to make a head coaching hire in the next couple of moments, days, or weeks.
I think with the speculation with Kevin O'Connell missing out on interviewing him until now after the Super Bowl. I think that the fact that it's taken this long so far, and regardless of who you think the favorite was, they weren't able to get that guy, and we're still kind of in limbo right now. And it seems like you're settling for your third and fourth choices. You interviewed Doug Peterson after, what was it, 34 days from the first interview. I think you have an organization that was ill-prepared for this process. I think you have a guy in Shad Khan whose ego took a giant blow after Urban Meyer turned out to not be the guy for the job. Because, I think Shad Khan went all in with Urban Meyer. That was Shad Khan's decision, and he gave him every single resource imaginable, essentially gave him the keys to the kingdom, if you will, and Urban Meyer crashed it, man. He made it worse than it was before he got here. So I think, as a businessman and as a person in football, your ego took a giant blow after you had to admit, hey, Urban Meyer wasn't the guy. I have to fire him before the season's even done, and I probably got to pay this guy a lot of money for not even doing his job anymore. So I think ego took a giant blow as well. So, yeah, I think Shad Khan right now, in terms of morale and in terms of, this process, it hasn't been good.
No, I will say I threw this out because you know me, I'm ready for every scenario possible, and I just wonder at some point, does it float by? You got to remember he's a global guy, right? He's a big business guy. The NFL is a big business. Well, I don't know about global business, but it works on a different speed, right, than the rest of the world. Like if Shad was going for Flexingate, he was going to go find a new CEO. Right, and he brings 3 CEOs, and he doesn't like the 3 CEOs. He just doesn't. He doesn't have a good feel about him, even though that's who he had the finalists. And he's like, you know what? I just don't have a good gut about this. I'm gonna go try to find somebody that I think fits better.
Sure.
He opens it back up, does a national search. Boom, boom, boom. You get 3 more. That goes on another month and a half. You end up with your CEO out of that pile. Could that have happened in this scenario where he just didn't like it how it was all lining up? It's like I don't know, man. I don't want to make the wrong decision. I've already made the wrong decision 4 times. I mean, plausibly, could it happen? Yeah, but in the NFL cycle, that's a very hard thing. You have to have a plan, and you have to always be ready to hire a coach. Like, even when you hire a coach, you have to have people in your drawer that you're ready to hire. Right?
For sure. But at the same time, too, though, it's concerning because, if we were talking about the businessman Shad Khan, you have a guy in Trent Baalke who's kind of like the president right now, who's also in charge of hiring, and you've left him appointed, when maybe you shouldn't have. Yeah. So maybe the best guy to qualify for your business as a president isn't doing a great job either.
Yeah, maybe it's the firing that needed to happen instead of the hiring, right? To make a better fit and you feel better about it. That's a fair point. We'll be back. Action Sports Jax on ESPN at 690. Trent Baalke not at the Senior Bowl. He's too busy. What does that mean? We'll be back on ESPN 690.
Mark your calendars for the end of February because Palm Beach Autographs in the Avenues Mall has something you won't want to miss. It all starts February 24th when Iron Mike Tyson will be in store for pictures and autographs. The very next day, Pete Rose, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. on February 25th. The next day, the Nature Boy, Ric Flair, will be in store at 1 p.m. on February 26th. Tickets for autographs and professional photo ops are available in-store or online at palmbeachautographs.com. Just click on the signings tab.
Looking for a great new career? Join Atlantic Coast Asphalt for their in-person hiring event Wednesday, February 2nd from 3 to 6 p.m. Atlantic Coast Asphalt has great jobs. Estimators, Class A CDL drivers, project engineers, heavy equipment operators, paving superintendents, quality control techs, even laborers. Interviews on-site, in person. They're hiring on the spot. Upgrade your career at Atlantic Coast Asphalt Wednesday, February 2nd from 3 to 6 p.m. 9622 Florida Mining Boulevard. An equal opportunity employer.
Well, the holidays are behind us, and that means nothing but open road ahead. So make every mile this new year the best it can be in a new Toyota from Arlington Toyota. Camry, Corolla, RAV4, Tundra, Tacoma. Arlington Toyota's got 500 new Toyotas available and ready for wherever you want to go in 2022. Plus, every new car purchase from Arlington Toyota comes with a lifetime warranty and Arlington's 30-day exchange program. Where will your new Toyota take you in 2022? Find out and shop arlingtontoyota.com today.
When you're in the mood for love, but you have ED or PE, have you tried those little blue pills? Have they let you down? Have they left you more frustrated? The answer isn't more blue pills with awful side effects. The answer is a private consultation with a specialist in men's health at Prime Men's Medical Center.
I'm Dr. Rabinski. If you're not the man you used to be in the bedroom and Viagra, Cialis, or Levitra have let you down, Prime Men's Medical Center offers custom blended medications. There's no pain and no surgery. Even men who have diabetes, high blood pressure, or prostate issues are lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer. And it's affordable.
Men, if you want to last longer in the bedroom without little blue pills, schedule a private consultation at Prime Men's Medical Center. We guarantee you'll see results on your first visit or your exam is free. Call 904-664-8217. 904-664-8217. That's 904-664-8217.
Hey, does your car still only play CDs? No Bluetooth? No CarPlay? You got an old car, my friend. You know what's better than an old car? A less old car. Get a car or truck that's new to you with a great used car loan from 1-to-1 Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union. Get pre-approved for a loan and shop at any dealership in town. Get a low rate and get rid of that old car today. Apply online at 1to1fcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you 24/7, with supplies and solutions for every industry, and access to product specialists ready to help. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If I'm going to work from my home office, I need my home office to work for me.
It's possible at Staples. To be most productive, my home office needs to have everything my office has. Also possible, because your local Staples store has the tools your business needs to get work done from home. And right now, you can save up to 40% on select chairs to put the finishing touch on your home office. Explore what's new at Staples, the working and learning store. Ends 2/26, in-store only while supplies last.
Cutting the price of your wireless bill feels good, really good. Actually, it feels great. You should try it out. So cut your bill by switching to Straight Talk Wireless, now offering our $45 Silver Unlimited plan with 5 gigabytes of hotspot and nationwide 5G on America's largest, most dependable networks. The $45 Silver Unlimited plan from Straight Talk. Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise.
A month equals 30 days. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com. 5G capable device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
CSX, a growing Fortune 500 logistics company, has immediate openings for freight train conductors. If you're looking for a rewarding career offering paid training at nearly $25 per hour, competitive benefits, and you share a passion for great service, apply today at csx.com/careers. That's csx.com/careers. CSX, committed to supporting military and veteran families and their communities. CSX is an equal opportunity employer.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Austin Lane from Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Smart speakers are becoming part of everyday life, so why not use it to listen to the radio? Tell Alexa, Google Home, or any other speaker to play ESPN 690. Give it a shot weekday afternoons from 3 to 6.
Do you believe you will ever coach in the National Football League again?
I'm hopeful that I will. I'm very hopeful. But I understand the risks of filing a lawsuit like this. But I am hopeful that I will. It's something I'm passionate about. But if change comes, and if I never coach again and there's change, it'll be worth it.
That is Brian Flores. Hey, real quick to kind of put a bow on this for now. It's not going to stop the story, and it should. Like, what's the immediate that happens? Like, I don't see Flores getting a job in the cycle. Right? Even though he's been interviewed. But, like, then what? Is it just an investigation and obviously a lawsuit that goes forward? And maybe Hugh Jackson joining this class action lawsuit? Do we get others? We saw a lot of support from players, but are we going to get people jumping in on a lawsuit against the NFL?
Yeah.
Do you think so?
I mean, it can go a couple ways. I would assume that there will probably be more people coming forward eventually. And then kind of back Brian Flores and kind of go from there.
Yeah, I guess I just have a hard time. I don't know what the end is. Obviously, when you sue somebody, there's money, right? I mean, it's a money thing that could be at. But what changes and how quickly can this spark change in the process is really what Brian Flores is after.
Yeah, I mean, I think it all depends. The process has to run its course, and in terms of teams being found guilty or not, I mean, that's going to be a big part of it. And then once again, if his peers back him and share their own experiences, and it starts to snowball, well, then, the NFL's got a serious problem on its hands. I think it already kind of does have a problem on its hands, but now it's going to amplify and be under a microscope.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you think, now that you've seen the dust settle a little bit and the massive nature of the story, do you think he'll coach again in the NFL? He admits that he's risking that. He knows
No, for sure. I think so. I mean, it all depends. Like, I don't know how this is going to play out, so it's so hard to say. I think if what he's saying is truth, I think he will have another opportunity then.
Yeah, I'm having a tough time with that. Like, I know he's not getting hired this cycle now. I mean, he definitely...
No, for sure.
I don't know if he was anyway, to be honest with you. But I know now he's not.
But I mean,
and I just don't know 3 years, 4 years. He's a young guy still, too.
I mean, if you mean to tell me a guy won't get an opportunity because he spoke out about maybe injustice, if once again, if he's found, right, I have a hard time believing that.
Yeah, might be the case. We'll see what happens, Brian Flores. Let's talk Senior Bowl a little bit. Trent Baalke's not there. Is that a big deal? When we come back, ESPN 690. Voted best gift of the year for golfers by the ESPN 690 Golf Enthusiast Review Board. Want to make the golfer in your life love you even more? Order the 2022 ESPN Dream 18 card for just $69. Big discounts on golf all year. Golf courses are raising their rates with the recent boom. The Dream 18 card has even more value now. For less than dinner for two at your favorite upscale restaurant, you will receive tremendously discounted rounds at some of the area's best golf courses. Golf Club at Southampton, St. John's Golf and Country Club, Hidden Hills, Osprey Cove, the Yards added this year, Amelia River Golf Club, Eagle Landing, Fleming Island Golf Club, and Queens Harbor Yacht and Country Club. Plus, you'll receive a free smoothie from Smoothie King, a free hat from Dome Hats, a free shirt at Baker's Sports, and a discount on a purchase at Palm Beach Autographs. Play 2 rounds of golf, and the card pays for itself. $69, that's it. Some of the proceeds go to the Dream 18 charity as well. Buy the card at Action Sports Jax, Dream18.com. Supplies are limited. Go to Action Sports Jax, Dream18.com.
In today's world, there's a lot of ways to know what's happening. At Action News Jax, we make sure our local stories have more detail, so you get every angle that impacts you. We dig for answers because you deserve the whole story. Taking time to provide context so you're clear on what's really going on. Because we know information is thrown at you 24/7, and we want you to know that Action News Jax is local coverage you can count on.
Don't paint, don't vinyl, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
It's that time of year when folks everywhere scratch their heads and wonder, what can I get my love for Valentine's Day? You know what your darling really wants from you to make them feel special? Finally updating the chipped and faded paint on your house. Rhino Shield is a revolutionary permanent ceramic coating that's a superior alternative to paint and vinyl siding.
Rhino Shield is perfect for stucco, brick, vinyl, coquina exteriors, and it's the ideal solution for any residential or commercial buildings.
It comes with a 25-year warranty,
so you'll never have to paint again.
Hurry, book now and take advantage of our special Valentine's Day sale and save up to 25%, but you'll have to call today.
Visit us at rhinoshieldjax.com or call 904-519-5055.
I've been asked 1,000 times, did you plan on becoming the largest injury law firm in the world? And the answer is no. When I started, there were just 2 of us. Today, Morgan & Morgan has 800 lawyers alone. No injury firm in the country has anywhere close to that. We set out to be focused on our clients and to have a commitment to trying cases and winning. And when you have those results at trial, you're able to settle most of your cases quickly and fairly. Reputation matters. We grew like this because we worked hard and so many former clients referred family and friends. And what I believe is the main reason is we delivered for our clients. A lot. Hard work and client satisfaction was our plan. It worked. Hope is not a plan. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Offices, Jacksonville.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. Former Dolphins coach Brian Flores with more to say today on ESPN's Get Up. Flores is suing the NFL, the Giants, Broncos for racial discrimination and unethical practices. Law professor and Sportico legal expert Michael McCann.
A lot of what we saw in that complaint we're never going to see, because there's it's very likely that this litigation is resolved before there's transparency. And I think that could leave sort of a bitter taste that this case maybe gets settled out of court.
Michael McCann on Greeny. Flores says Dolphins owner Stephen Ross offered him $100,000 for each loss during the 2019 season. Turning down that offer, Flores believes, in part led to his firing 3 weeks ago. ESPN's Rich Cimini reports Jets offensive lineman Cameron Clark won't play football again. Clark is only 24 years old, but has been told he'd risk paralysis if he keeps playing. Clark missed this season after a spinal cord injury during training camp.
The new Venture X card from Capital One. Earn 10x miles on hotels and rental cars and 5x miles on flights when you book through Capital One Travel, plus 2x miles on all other purchases. Capital One. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios.
This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
He didn't need to file a lawsuit in order to get other people to realize that the NFL has a problem when it comes to hiring black coaches. He didn't need the lawsuit for that. He filed the lawsuit so that it could stimulate change. It could be the catalyst in order for the NFL to move in a direction that it has already proven itself incapable of being able to do it on its own. So I think that's the important thing to keep in perspective as we go through the days and the months ahead.
I didn't listen closely enough. Who was that? Is that Chris Canty?
Yes.
Nicely done. Man. When in doubt, go Chris Canty. He's no doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt Casey's favorite on the ESPN family of networks.
Yeah.
Chris Canty. You can listen with Golick Jr. right after this show, right? See that? Today's Wednesday, so you don't have Action Sports Jax overtime, so you can listen to it after the show.
That's correct.
FSU basketball, by the way, against Clemson tonight, 6:30, brought to you by Bono's Pit Barbecue and Willie Jules Barbecue. Old school barbecue, that is. So check them out. Florida State's lost a couple in a row now. They're on that NCAA tournament bubble. Got to get some wins.
First four out or whatever it is.
Yeah,
that's
I think
where they
so,
are right now.
as Lenardi would say. Meanwhile, just to let you know, Providence Friars won again last night, 19-2.
Who would they beat?
Yeah, who are they playing?
They beat St. John's last night.
Is that good?
Yeah, St. John's just okay, but I think St. John's like middle of the pack in the Big East. But Big East does have, I think, 4 if not 5 teams ranked. But nobody like elite, you know.
St. John's 11-9.
Yeah, just okay. Middle of the pack.
You know,
but
better than 9 and 11. Right?
Yeah, I mean, barely.
I know. I'm aware.
Yeah. But the Providence Friars are 19-2.
Okay.
But the thing about it is the good thing is they don't have, like, Butler's not top 5 in the nation this year, or Villanova's not top 5 in the nation. So everybody's like ranked within by like 13 to 22 or something.
They've been on a roll. I mean, yeah, they beat Marquette by 2, beat
Xavier
by 3, and then really put it on Butler, won by 7. Butler 11-10 this year.
Is Xavier
and
good?
Then 15-5, not bad. And then
it's good.
It's good.
10 games over.
Oh, and then hey, you want to talk about a real beat Georgetown by 8. You been following Georgetown this year?
Check out
Of course you haven't. They're 6-13.
Check out I think they're winless in the Big East, actually. Check out the first Marquette meeting. Marquette beat them by like 40.
88-56.
Yeah,
and then they beat them the second time?
Beat them the second time.
Hey.
They crushed them.
Yep.
They're improving as a program.
That's one of their 2 losses.
Who else have they lost to?
I don't even know. I think it's somebody bigger, I think. Maybe early in the year.
I don't know. I'm trying to look.
Can't find it.
I mean, they beat Texas Tech. That's impressive.
Yeah. Providence is okay. Again, I don't think they're great. I think they're okay.
Yeah.
And Glenn, you're right. Ed Cooley is a very good coach of the Friars. He's absolutely a very good coach. He's from Providence, and he's a hometown guy. And thought he might leave because he was starting to get some offers, but he's a heck of a coach.
Virginia.
He has done a great job.
They got beat by Virginia?
Yeah. Virginia's just okay this year, I think, too. So, listen, the Friars you're gonna earn it if you play against the Friars.
Okay.
But I don't see the Friars being like an Elite 8 team.
13-9 for Virginia.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead and put them in the OVC against Murray State and see what happens. That's all I'm going to say.
To that point,
come on.
Like the Friars.
Justice Hill is the name you all should be remembering, by the way. Justice Hill.
By the way, the Friars could lose to a team like Murray State.
Really?
Yeah, like it wouldn't be that stunning to me. That's my point. Like,
I mean, when you
Duke's
say
not
a
going to
team
lose
like
to Murray
Murray
State.
You know he's Fitzhill's kid?
Duke lost to Mercer one time.
Yeah, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
But like Baylor right now, the way they're playing, the top 5 teams in the land, right?
Yeah,
they're probably not going to lose to Murray State.
They're good.
But the Friars could lose to Murray State.
Sleep on Justice Hill now. But go ahead, Casey.
What did I say? He's Fitzhill. That's his dad. Justice Hill.
Fitzhill?
Yeah.
Should I know what Fitzhill is? Do you know what Fitzhill is?
No, but he has a Wikipedia page.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
All right, so he's got to be a former basketball player, huh?
No, sir. Football coach.
Really?
San Jose State University.
Huh.
Yep. Record wasn't great, but he does have a Wikipedia page.
I wonder how they even got Justice Hill then. Because you know the whole story about John Morant, how they got John Morant?
No.
I've told it before. Casey, you know the story how John Morant went to Murray State?
I don't.
So the Murray State coach at the time was at an AAU tournament recruiting somebody else. And he went to go get, I think it was an ice cream sandwich or something like out of the vending machine. And when he went out there, the janitor said, you got to check out this guy, John Morant, who's actually playing outside or like in a different gym. He never heard John Morant before. So the coach took advice of the janitor and said, all right, I'll check him out.
That's awesome.
He saw
That's
John
so
Morant
cool.
and the story remained. I mean, and then he signed him like on the spot, basically.
Let's go find that janitor and do a heck of a story on
That's
John
what I'm
Morant.
saying, man.
I mean, has it already been done?
Hey, it's been done.
Or can we hire
It's
that
been
guy
done.
to scout?
That's true, too.
Guy needs a better job.
Yeah. Let's get him on the Jaguars.
I'm not against it.
By the way, if he was on the Jaguars, he could be at the Senior Bowl scouting because Trent Baalke's not.
Yep, for sure. So that's why Trent Baalke's busy? That's what the rumor was?
All the word is that Trent Baalke's not at the Senior Bowl.
Okay.
Whether he's busy.
But we don't know why.
Whether he's packing his office up.
Okay.
Whether he's hiring a new coach.
Okay.
Whether he's in the Bahamas. Whether.
Well, you said because he was busy, and I was taking you at your word for that.
I don't know why.
Okay.
Can confirm he has not been on TV yet. I'm watching.
He's not rocking that Jaguars 3/4 zip.
Haven't seen him. Have seen Dan Campbell, though.
How big of a deal
is Trent Baalke's not at the Senior Bowl?
Yeah, because, listen, okay. Again, I'm trying to get everybody a little bit out of the fire Baalke. Baalke's a mess. I get it. Like, we understand, right? Everybody understands that part. But now, like, the process has started to start building. You have the number 1 pick. You have no idea what your offense is going to look like. Your defense is going to look like. You have no offense coordinator, defense coordinator. You don't know your scheme. You have scouts there at the Senior Bowl doing their job, and that's fine. Like, that's part of it. And they do a lot of it.
Mm-hmm.
But Trent Baalke, assuming he stays on, is going to potentially be the guy making picks, and he's not at the Senior Bowl.
Okay.
That seems like a pretty big deal.
But we don't even, yeah, but like, what is he looking for? Like, what kind of players is he looking for right now? Like, what kind of players is he trying to watch right now? We don't have a coach.
How about good ones?
Okay. Okay.
I mean, do you need a coach to go scout Jermaine Johnson?
No, but I need a coach to tell me, can Jermaine Johnson play in the style that he wants to play or not?
Well, I can tell you this, though. If you're a Trent Baalke, you can well be a part of an interview process that's asked that same question to Jermaine Johnson. How do you feel playing in a system of a 4-3 or a 3-4 or standing up or hand in the dirt or whatever it is?
But come on. I mean, people already, like scouts already know and GMs already know if Jermaine Johnson's going to be a 3-4 guy or 4-3 guy.
Okay, so fair to say then, it's not that big a deal that Baalke's not there because you got the rest of the scouting staff there?
Well, what I assume with Trent Baalke, if he didn't get fired already, is the fact that he's probably still helping this coaching search go on.
Yeah.
And that's where the priority lies right now.
Well, that's fine. I don't care where he is. I don't, like I said, if he cleaned out his office, maybe that would be the best. But that's not the, I'm just saying, so is it a big deal? This is the worst football team in the National Football League.
Correct. And
they have a lot of draft picks, and they don't have a coach, but they do also, once they get a coach, still have to acquire good players. And the acquiring of players in the draft it already started. It's been going on. I understand that, tape and going to games and on the weekends and all this stuff. But it really hits a new speed in Mobile, Alabama, where you're checking out some of these players and find some diamonds in the roughs or mid-round guys. Those guys are a lot harder to project off tape and other things. You get in the room, you get around coaches. By the way, from a Trent Baalke standpoint, you develop more relationships. You clean some of the mess up that's been in Jacksonville, so you make trades down the road or whatever else.
So you want Trent Baalke there interviewing these players? Is that what you're saying?
Well, listen, I think...
what do you want him to do?
Yeah, I want him there. I want him there with his own eyes.
To interview
interacting,
players?
Seeing, yes. It's not like they've picked the best of players as of late.
Sure.
Right?
I absolutely agree with you.
I want him in a room with some of these guys if he's going to be the guy making the pick.
My only argument is I think it's hard to evaluate talent when you don't know what kind of talent you're looking for. Like, yeah, you say you want good, high-Q football players. That's great. But you just can't write in a slate, hey, we got to draft this guy because, well, he's a good player. Oh, really? Is he a 3-4 defensive end or 4-3 defensive end? It doesn't matter. He's a good player. No, you have to know what kind of scheme you're running. You got to know what your coach wants, what your coordinators want, what your position coach is looking for. And we have none of that right now because we can't make up our minds about a head coach.
Yeah, I think it's a big I think this kind of stuff right now just exacerbates the process because now guys that are supposed to be doing their job, I would assume that the rest of the 30 whatever GMs in the league, 31 GMs in the league are there.
Maybe. I mean, I have no idea.
I mean, we've seen GMs there, right? Sometimes the coaches go, sometimes they don't. Sometimes assistants go, sometimes they don't. I think there was the year Marone got hired, I believe it was, that he didn't go, or maybe it was after they did well in 2017. I can't remember which one, but he didn't go. So, we've covered that Senior Bowl enough, but I can't remember a Senior Bowl in recent, where Dave Caldwell and Gene Smith were not there since I covered the Jags.
Sure.
So...
But, do you think he's not taking part in the coaching process?
Yeah, I think he's obviously taking part in the coaching process to some degree.
Well, there you go then. I mean, do you think he's not
asking why he's not there? That's not my question.
Okay, but I'm saying, do you think he's not the Senior Bowl because he's helping with the coaching process?
I would say so.
So then whose fault is it? Trent Baalke's or Shad Khan's? If you're upset because Trent Baalke isn't at the Senior Bowl, well, then shouldn't Shad Khan say, hey, you're the general manager, don't worry about the process, maybe go to the Senior Bowl?
Now you're getting around to my point. Thank you very much. So Shad Khan's now paying a guy that he's apparently sticking with a guy and going to stick with a guy that now he's not doing his job.
I thought his job was to find the head coach.
His job is to find good players.
So then Trent Baalke doesn't have any inkling on the coaching search. You're saying, what
are we doing here?
What are we doing here, man? I'm saying that Trent Baalke is trying to find the next Jaguars head coach. He's doing his part.
For one time on this show, we are agreeing here that Shad Khan and delaying this stuff and still having him around and Trent Baalke not being able to go to the Senior Bowl is not doing his job the way he should be doing it because the coaching search is still going on. And the mess that they've created, how much of a problem is it that Trent Baalke isn't there? How much will it impact them in the draft potentially when you can find guys? How much of all this process now is a big deal that Baalke is not at the Senior Bowl like 31 other GMs and every GM in Jacksonville has ever been?
So then can we question...
We're on the same page here.
But then why can't we say it's Shad Khan's fault?
Well, you can say it's Shad Khan's fault.
But is it not Shad Khan's fault? You won't say it. I will. It's Shad Khan's fault. Is it not Shad Khan's fault?
I just did say it's Shad Khan's fault.
Okay.
But you're answering a question... I don't know where you're taking the conversation. The question is, how much is this going to impact the Jaguars? How big of a deal is this that they are not there evaluating players at the Senior Bowl when the rest of the league is there? That you're just trusting your scouts, that you don't have people in place. You don't know what offense you're running. You don't know what defense you're running. Are you getting behind, or is this just, hey, we can catch up to it. We got our scouts. We've got our evaluations. We've been looking at this class for the last 18 months.
It's a huge problem.
Thank you. That was it.
How did it take us so... How did it take us so long to get there?
I don't know.
The whole debate
You wanted me to say it's Shad Khan's fault? Well,
Yeah.
I was saying, yeah, it's Shad Khan's fault the whole time. This whole process
here's the thing.
is exacerbated by the fact that now you're missing opportunities to evaluate and start the off-season job part of the process.
Yeah, but you're trying to point the finger at Bulky like, well, Bulky should be there. Bulky should be there. I agree Bulky should be there, but it's not Bulky's fault why he's not there. I think it's Shad Khan's fault because Trent Bulky is in charge of the coach situation.
Yeah, I think it's...
So, like, I don't get why you're pointing the finger at Bulky. Well, why isn't he there? Why isn't he there? Because he's helping trying to find a coach. That's where we're at right now.
I don't think I was pointing the finger at Bulky. In fact, I actually said, how big of a deal is Trent Bulky's absence from the Senior Bowl?
And I said it's a big deal, but he's trying to find a coach. And that's Shad Khan's fault. So I think it's a bigger deal on Shad Khan saying, hey, I need you here to help me find a head coach.
Okay, let me rephrase the question. Who should we blame for Trent Bulky not being at the Senior Bowl?
Shad Khan.
Thank you. Okay, good. We got that one. I should have started
That's all I had
with
to
that.
say, man.
Now, can I
That's all
ask
you
you
had to say.
how much behind are the Jaguars getting by not having their general manager at the Senior Bowl? You participated in the Senior Bowl. Here's where you bring your expertise in about what went on at the Senior Bowl that Trent Bulky and Shad Khan might be missing out on because they don't have all these things in place. And by the way, there are other teams, the Miami Dolphins, the Houston Texans, the New Orleans Saints, that don't have some of these things in place as well. But all those teams at least have a GM in place. They're scouting, evaluating, interviewing, getting to know who's got a good IQ.
Though? You think players are talking to GMs at the Senior Bowl?
Well, I'm asking you.
No, I mean, when I was there, we didn't do that.
You never talked to a GM in a room?
Never.
You were just talking to scouts?
Scouts and just in passing, yeah. Just like at the, like where we set up shop, they had the rooms reserved for scouts. Yeah, I never talked to a GM. My teammates never talked to GMs. Now, maybe that's changed. But when I was in the Senior Bowl, there wasn't like meetings for GMs.
But you guys have late-night meetings, right?
Well, that's what the Combine's for, though.
But in Mobile, you didn't have late-night meetings? Well, you got there late.
Well, I got there on the Wednesday.
Yeah.
But, like,
so
as
those
far
were
as
just
I know,
with scouts.
Yeah, they weren't talking to GMs and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're not in the room at all.
Back in 2010 was at the Senior Bowl. None of my teammates were talking to GMs.
And that's what I'm asking you.
Yeah.
Like, so he's not missing out on anything then being there.
Unless the rule has changed in terms of talking to players, I don't think Trent Bulky will be there talking to players.
Because he won't get into the room then until Combine time. That's when that was the first time you ever talked to a GM. Unless maybe did they go and visit?
Talked to him. No,
they never came visit.
No, I mean I talked
State.
to scouts at the. I mean I was in a whirlwind because I got there late, so I was like, oh, you got a meeting here, meeting here, meeting here, but it was always with scouts.
All right, so maybe he's not missing much then. The scouts are doing the dirty work right now anyway.
Well, I mean, I think what you're missing if you're Trent Bulky is you're missing how these guys practice in an NFL setting, which is an extremely important thing. It's something you can't really tell on TV. It's something that's even hard to tell on game film. You want to see how these players react to the coaching, how they handle a real, quote-unquote, NFL practice. And you can't see that. So I think in terms of what kind of culture what guys bring to the table in terms of leadership, you are missing that for sure. I think in terms of football IQ and asking these players questions, you don't really get to do a lot of that as a GM. Now, the scouts can get back to you, and then you can kind of relay that information, but you're not missing that so much as opposed to what you're seeing at practice.
Yeah, okay.
Now, once again, maybe it's changed. Maybe they'll put up interviews to coaches.
No, I remember being in the Senior
GMs.
Bowl hotel and those guys going up to interviews.
Yeah.
I just assumed that in that process, I knew the scouts would be there.
Yeah.
But I thought every GM in the league that I've ever seen has been there. Like I said.
No, for sure.
So maybe Dave Caldwell and others went out for dinner instead of being in the meetings.
Like
which
I said,
is what it sounds
maybe,
like.
Yeah, maybe it changed. I have no idea.
I just I guess all those years, I assumed that those guys would have been in the meetings as well. If the Jags want to meet with X player and blah, 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 this player, that player, the GM, maybe that's why the Jags pick so bad.
Yeah, maybe, man.
maybe they should be in there.
Well, and that's kind of why it was always, at the time, if you were a coach, you wanted to coach the Senior Bowl because you kind of got the hands-on experience.
And that's a different experience, right? The Jags aren't getting that experience. Like, they're not missing out on that experience.
Yeah.
Because And to be honest, like I don't think the coaches, like when Marone didn't go and his staff didn't go, they were more getting settled in here, had meetings here, starting to again, I don't remember what year it was. I'm pretty sure it was the year that he started. But scouts were there, and I think Caldwell was there at the time. You know, and so those guys are the ones putting the evaluations together. You know, they have in charge of the personnel, right? And the roster. And so those things are all in place, even if the head coach is not there. So I think the coaches, if you get to coach them, like you're talking about, and the Jags have done that from time to time. Now that's impactful. That's a good thing. But I'll give you another scenario here, is that if Doug Peterson gets hired and he does want some kind of roster control, could it hurt the Jaguars this late in the process that, again, maybe he's even a little bit behind? He doesn't get the chance to go mingle around these guys a little bit or watch them practice up close and observations. Like, I honestly don't know, because I've never done it. I don't know if watching the tape of the Senior Bowl and watch guys one-on-one reps is just as valuable as being there with your own eyes on a rainy day in Mobile, Alabama. I don't know if there's a difference.
So real quick here, to kind of go with the meetings and everything, Carson Strong of Nevada tweeted out that he had meetings with the Steelers, but in the meeting he only met with Mike Tomlin and none of the front office. So I'm not sure. Maybe you can meet with the GM now, but he said he didn't meet with. He had a strong conversation with just Mike Tomlin one-on-one.
So and by the way, this might be a good. How many guys do you remember meeting with at one time?
At the Senior Bowl?
Like, let's just say the Jags, right? Would it have been 2 guys in the room, 3 guys in the room, 1 guy in the room?
No, usually it was. See, when we did it, it wasn't even a room. It was out. It was like in the sitting area.
In that lobby area. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
So I mean, it was just one guy. It was one-on-one.
Okay, so maybe that's how they attacked this thing at the Super Bowl, Senior Bowl then.
Yeah.
And that because there are so many guys.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like each roster has however many, and you only have a few days to do it.
Yeah.
They might do exactly what you just read up on Tomlin, right?
Malik Willis said this too. He spoke with Mike Tomlin one-on-one after practice. So I don't know. Maybe it's head coaches. I don't know.
Well, the practice, again, it depends. Maybe each organization varies.
Yeah.
But Tomlin, it sounds like he's meeting with those guys right after the practice because he just watched them. But maybe the scout meets with them later at night, like in the hotel, in the lobby that we're familiar with.
Yeah.
Or I think you could make the case that because there are so many guys to see on both teams, and you only have a couple of days to do it, both from a practice standpoint and in a lobby standpoint, you only get like 5 or 7 minutes or whatever it is with each guy, that maybe you do say, hey, we've got 12 people here, and you're going to pick these 12 guys, and I'm going to take these 12 guys, and you're going to file a report on those guys. You know what I mean?
Maybe. Yeah. I mean,
whereas the combine's a little different. Because you're probably more focused.
Well, the combine, it's like you're literally sitting in front of
all of them, right?
Everybody.
They like have a suite essentially, or their own room, and then come on in.
Correct. Yes.
So it's a totally different animal in that sense.
Yeah.
So hey, in that regard, again, I mean, this really was getting at, like, how much are the Jags even getting further behind? We already know they're behind. It looks like they're behind in the hiring process.
Yeah.
And my concern now is they've got an important draft ahead.
Yep.
They've got to go find good football players. They've done a terrible job of that. They've done a terrible job of identifying, whether it's potential problems, personality traits, skill sets, what fits. Like, the more you get to see people and potential players that you're going to draft, the better, in my opinion. And at least for Trent Baalke, who could still be the ultimate decision maker here, however this shakes out, which we all would not like. But the reality is, are the Jags going to get any better with Trent Baalke sitting in a room trying to find the next coach, or Spielman as the GM or assistant GM?
Yep.
Or is he better served in the Senior Bowl? And I think for this conversation, maybe he isn't missing as much as it might appear.
Well, and also keep in mind, too, I mean, if it's the bigger name guys, they've already had scouts come to their school and do, like, the first interview process.
Yeah.
So the Senior Bowl, I think, is more set up for maybe, like, the smaller school guys who are kind of, like, under the radar a little bit. That's where you get a chance to meet them maybe for the first time.
Yeah. And by the way, that's a good point, because it's not just a February, March, April process.
Yeah.
It's a process that's gone on for 18 months.
Correct.
Like, these guys have been on a lot of these players.
Yeah.
For quite a long time.
But, like, to echo the point that, like, when I got there, it was a whirlwind for me, because being a small school guy at Murray State, like, they wanted to do their due diligence because not a lot of scouts came during the season.
They hadn't seen
So, like, it was a lot of meetings at the Senior Bowl even when I first got there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, good deal. Well, we'll be back. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Signing day today. We want to showcase some of the committed to the uncommitted kids that we had on the program all during our Blitz scoreboard show. And some of those guys signed on the dotted line today. We'll tell you where when we come back.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Partly sunny and mild today. An isolated brief shower closer to the coast, but mostly dry with highs in the low to mid 70s. Cooler at the beaches. We'll drop into the low to mid 50s tonight, and a partly sunny and pretty warm day tomorrow. Your Thursday high up to 77. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish. Join me today beginning at 5 p.m. on CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds. Get the guaranteed lowest price at the only locally owned diamond store in the St. John's Town Center.
If you are involved in a legal dispute and are not sure of your options, call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000 and take back control of your life.
Office in Jacksonville.
The right time for the best water is right now. CGC Water Treatment wants to make sure your family's water is clean, healthy, and tastes great. CGC Water's done that for my family for a handful of years now, and it all starts with a Connecticut system. American-made and installed by the pros at CGC Water Treatment. Contact CGC Water Treatment now for your free water test. Connecticut systems remove up to 99% of contaminants. Remember, if you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. Connecticut makes the world's most efficient softeners, twin-tank, non-electric systems that use less salt and water during regeneration. Right now, save up to $600 on select system packages. Financing available with approved credit. Just call CGC Water at 904-552-1242 and ask about the Conway Club, the new service program that will save you money on salt, filters, delivery, parts, and labor. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. Proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars and your local independent Connecticut dealer.
Hey, does your car still only play CDs? No Bluetooth? No CarPlay? You've got an old car, my friend. You know what's better than an old car? A less old car. Get a car or truck that's new to you with a great used car loan from 1-to-1 Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union. Get pre-approved for a loan and shop at any dealership in town. Get a low rate and get rid of that old car today. Apply online at 1to1fcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA.
The Players is proud to support Jewish Family and Community Services, which provides social and community services to enhance the lives of at-risk children, adults, seniors, and families. It's 34 days until the Players.
Do you know why you see so much camera footage of crimes? Wasn't the camera supposed to deter the crime in the first place? That's because they weren't safe touch cameras. You don't want to see someone breaking into your car. You want to see it before it happens. That's what safe touch cameras do. They alert you via text or video notification beforehand, giving you time to react to the situation. And safe touch cameras have 24/7 video storage in the cloud, the safest and securest way to store important events that only you, the safe touch customer, control. And here's the best news yet. You can get the safe touch surveillance system with 3-color cameras, 24-hour recording, secure storage for as little as $39.95 per month, including 24/7 service, cloud storage, and camera warranty. Camera installation is additional charge. This system will work with any security system or no security system at all. Or bundle the two-way communicator package for additional savings. Find out how you can get a free survey and demonstration at safetouch.com. State license number EF0000233.
I'm John Morgan. All law firms are not the same. As America's largest personal injury firm, we have more trials, more lawyers, more office buildings, and more caring staff members than any other injury law firm in the world. There's really nothing else like it. Our reputation and results speak for themselves. With more than 2 million people just like you calling us every single year, your trust in us means the world to me. There's only one Morgan & Morgan. ForThePeople.com.
Offices, Jacksonville.
Jackson Hewitt needs you to know 3 things about filing taxes this year. 1, there are thousands of dollars worth of new tax credits on the table. 2, you have to file for them to make sure you get the right amount. 3, a Jackson Hewitt Tax Pro will help track down every credit you deserve. Tax credits for being a parent, taking care of a parent, going to school, and so much more. You don't want to miss out on thousands. Jackson Hewitt knows that. Discover thousands in tax credits and get your biggest refund guaranteed. Learn more at jacksonhewitt.com.
Calling all coffee lovers. Hold on to your mugs because Panera's Unlimited Sip Club is offering the unreal deal of unlimited coffee for only $8.99 a month. Don't worry, you're not dreaming because when we say unlimited, we mean unlimited. Unlimited boosts all day long. Unlimited smells of your favorite aroma. Unlimited sips of premium hot and iced coffees. Sign up on our app today to get your first month free. Panera, the familiar made fantastic. plus tax. First free month limited time offer. Restrictions apply. For complete details, visit www.panerabread.com/unlimitedSipClub.
It's not easy being the one everyone counts on to keep the facility running, no matter the weather or supply chain hiccup. But we get you, Raymond in Buffalo, and Maria in Miami, Jules in Minneapolis, and Stan in Central Indiana, taking control of everything that's under your control. At Grainger, we're here for you with experienced branch staff at over 250 locations so you get the product you're looking for. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Every 4 years, the world's greatest athletes compete for gold.
Team USA wins gold!
That time is now. The Winter Olympics are coming to NBC and Peacock.
Team USA would not be denied.
17 days of action, excitement, glory, and history in the making.
The United States wins gold!
Don't miss a single epic moment. The Winter Olympics, starting February 3rd on NBC and Peacock.
Hey, Ray Magliozzi here. Have you ever cooked a really fine gourmet meal? Yeah, me neither. But I'm told it all comes down to the ingredients. And when I need ingredients to improve my car, the place I go is eBay Motors. Whether you roasted your last transmission, graded your current floor mats, or pureed your side view mirror on a lamppost, eBay Motors has the right parts at the right prices. 122 million of them. And by the way, if you recently fired up your grill, don't worry, eBay Motors has grills too. eBay Motors. Let's ride. Hey, Ray Magliozzi here. I don't know about you, but my car could use a few upgrades. I mean, the 8-inch tier in the driver's seat does have sentimental value since my butt has molded to fit it, but I'm ready to move on. My solution? eBay Motors. They've got all the right parts at the right prices. 122 million of them, from seat covers to whole new seats. When I get that new seat, I think I'll put the old one in the living room, right next to the minivan seats, or as we call it, the sectional. eBay Motors. Let's ride.
If you have ever thought about remodeling your bathroom but were worried it would take too long or cost too much, then stop worrying. Right now, Jacuzzi Bath Remodel has designed a collection of high-quality custom products and perfected the one-day remodeling experience so you can enjoy your new bathroom faster than ever before. It's a worry-free bath remodel from the most trusted brand name in the business, Jacuzzi. For a virtual or in-home appointment, call 800-826-9895. That's 800-826-9895. 800-826-9895.
Join the movement to end colon cancer. The annual March to Get Screened 5K is coming up on March 27th. All proceeds benefit the nonprofit Portland Groover Foundation to advance colon cancer research, provide free screenings, and financial assistance. Colon cancer is actually preventable with regular colon screenings. Hundreds of lives have been saved due to the support of our community and the March to Get Screened 5K. Bring the family and join us in downtown Jacksonville on March 27th. To register, donate, or for more information, go to marchtoGetScreened.com.
Hey, does your car still only play CDs? No Bluetooth? No CarPlay? You got an old car, my friend. You know what's better than an old car? A less old car. Get a car or truck that's new to you with a great used car loan from 1-to-1 Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union. Get pre-approved for a loan and shop at any dealership in town. Get a low rate and get rid of that old car today. Apply online at 1to1fcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA.
Listen to ESPN 690 anytime, anywhere, on any device. Whether you're at home or on the go, get the latest on the Jags, FSU, the Jumbo Shrimp, and Action Sports Jax on Odyssey.com. That's AUDACY.com or on ESPN690.com.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. Brett Martineau along with Austin Lane, Casey Kurtz. Stuart Weber is joined to the mix here on Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Not only that, hooray, Kevin Sullivan, our high school football analyst, college recruiting analyst.
Hey, what's up?
What's up, Sully?
Living the dream. Living the dream.
Were you at Jackson today?
Yes, sir. Went up to Jackson today.
Yeah.
Got to see some people. Good times on Main Street today.
I'll tell you what, they got a lot of this. You know, I like this signing day. I'm not sure still if I love the split signing days, but I do like this signing day for the kids that aren't football players especially. I feel like they get a little more love on this day while they used to not. Because football was top of mind and the big names and the big schools and the this and the that. Well, I do think that a lot of the other sports and kids get a little bit more recognition with the split days because the bigger football day has now become the early signing period in December. As a guy who's coached a long time and been around this, how do you feel about how the early signing day has worked out and the split signing days? Do you like it?
Yeah, I do. I like the early signing period. I think what happens is that you get a lot of those fringe D1 guys that have maybe been courted by some FCS schools, and then they end up signing with maybe a mid-major FBS. And so that opens up the whole month of January for FCS schools to really get after some kids. And you saw that today in some of these signings today.
Yeah, and Brent just mentioned it. I mean, that's the great part about bringing in all these other athletes from the different sports is that they kind of get this chance to shine instead of, okay, well, let's specifically go to this school because this guy is going to this major football team, which I know part of it today. I mean, one of our main signings that we went to was at Ed White, where Elijah Dees is a diver there, and he's going to the University of Florida, and it's really cool to see a Duval County public school diver, we're not necessarily known for that here in this area, but getting to go play for the Gators.
Yeah, and that's the great part about it, too, because, there's a lot of softball, soccer, swimmers, baseball today that get a lot of publicity, not just football. And so it's really good to promote our student athletes in North Florida.
How about this for you, Brent? Bowls set a record today with 32 signees in their signing ceremony today. 32. 14 of them from the swimming and diving programs alone.
That's amazing. Their swimming and diving's world class.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
Not just really locally good and state good and nationally good, but world class swimming program. But that is cool. Like you guys said, I think it's pretty neat that that's happened. Brent Martineau, Stuart Weber, Kevin Sullivan here on a Wednesday, National Signing Day 2022. It's finally happened, by the way. Austin and I yelled at each other so much, like he just left for this segment. He's just I really just didn't want to get hit, so I kicked him out. But he'll be back in a couple of moments.
That's because there was no Murray State guys today.
That's right. No Murray State landing spots. I want to give us a heads up on next year. I was talking about this earlier with you. Grayson Pup Howard is going to be one of the biggest guys in next year's class, right? And you actually had a chance to go up to, I think, Georgia and Clemson with them on unofficials, if I have that correct. I don't want to get anybody in trouble. Last weekend. So, I mean, what kind of talent is he? He's from Jackson as well, and he's a special young man, but he's going to be one of the big kids to keep an eye on for next year, right?
Yeah, for next year. Yeah, he'll be a December signee, early enrollee. But yeah, it was just sort of funny. Him and I have a pretty good relationship. I think he treats me as like the grandfather. So he'll text me different questions and different things. And he texted me out of the blue, probably Monday last week, and was like, "Coach, we're going to go to Clemson, but I want to go to Georgia." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, that'd be great." He goes, No, I want you to go with us. And I'm like, "Oh, heck yeah, let's go. I got nothing to do. It's cold. Heck, I get in the car and ride with you." So we went up to Georgia, and he got to see that facility, and then spent the night and got over and spent the whole day at Clemson too, and then actually drove back and actually stopped in South Carolina at University of South Carolina for just a meet and greet there with everybody. And it's pretty cool that he would ask me to do that. A lot of respect for that young man, and just a tremendous first-class person. Take the athletic part aside, just a tremendous person, and I think he's going to be tremendous wherever he ends up, whatever he does.
By the way, worth repeating and letting everybody know, like when I first got here in 2008, Coach, I think it was a little bit of a down cycle on the high school ranks. Like we had come out of a pretty good cycle, like from the Tim Tebows of the world and others, and I wouldn't say it was like awful, but by Jacksonville standards, it wasn't like, wow, like left, especially from the quarterbacks. And now you look at the last, I would say 10 years especially, and it's been unbelievable. So much so that we have two players in the Super Bowl, and John Wolford and Darius Williams. And again, when you get the chance, everybody around here knows. People who follow Jacksonville football and this local sports scene, they know. They watch Friday nights. They probably participated in Friday nights. They played against some of these guys. The talent is enormous on a lot of different sports, but especially football. Every Saturday you turn on an SEC game, an ACC game, you're seeing them. So it's just worth repeating how good the athlete is here in Northeast Florida. Again, in a variety of sports. I mean, don't get me talking about baseball and softball. I live in that world, and so I know that. But football obviously is one front and center. Hey, guys, I want you to comment a little bit on what we have committed to the uncommitted. It was presented by Baker Sports this fall. We started this, Sully and Stewart and Casey and Blitz Scoreboard Show on Friday nights. And it's really one of the cool segments that we've done. I love it. It's been fun to learn about the kids. And the idea was COVID has really knocked off a lot of these 2022s and put them in a tough spot. It backed up the recruiting cycle in a lot of ways.
Portal, yeah, no doubt.
And the transfer portal hasn't helped, right? And the rules have changed and all these other things. Well, it's good to see some of these guys that we highlighted landing in places, and more still can. And we might even have missed a few. But the first guy just committed last week and signed today, and that's Tony Carter, Coach. Remember him from Mandarin, the safety, also a big-time wrestler. But he's going way out to the West Coast and play at Washington State.
Yeah, that's a really good. And like I said, they came in late. I think he was pretty much leaning towards Western Carolina. And then Washington State came in, I want to say the week before, and then took him out on the last official visit weekend. He went out there, and that's a really great opportunity for him. Long way from home, but I'll tell you what, nowadays with the internet and FaceTime and all that, I think it's a great place for him. He's got a chance to go out there and compete, play at the highest level, and real excited for him.
Try to be the next Gardner Minshew.
There you go.
Get that cult status out there in the Pacific Northwest. And Brendan mentioned it. I mean, just this long list of guys. I keep seeing the name, be like, hey, it's one of our committed to the uncommitted guys. And on Twitter, you see them say, oh, I have an offer from here. And it's one of those things that we can celebrate because, you know, these are the guys who maybe didn't get that announcement earlier on and didn't get the attention that they deserved when they've been playing lights out ball here in the fall throughout Northeast Florida.
Well,
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and Coach, I'll tell you what else, too. You mentioned Western Carolina, and we'll bring up one of those guys in a minute. I want to go in the order Casey's telling us, but the Western Carolina is Kerwin Bell, and Kerwin's a coach up there, and it seems like he started to invade Northeast Florida a little bit late in the game, didn't it?
Yeah, they've actually, I want to say my last count, I believe they've got four or five kids.
I think so.
From our area. I know they were on, they were the same way. They were on some guys, but after the sign-in period in December ended, I think they really ramped up. And, they've got ties here. Cade, his son, is the offensive coordinator. Kerry Webb's the running back coach. He was at JU with him. Rudell Small played for him there.
Oh, yeah, Rudell Small. Remember that name.
He's coaching there with him. And then they go to Valdosta and they win the Natty. And so they've got such good ties and have such good connection with the coaches and everything. And they're really good dudes and good ball coaches. And, and they did it right. They didn't take a lot of transfers because a lot of FCS took a lot of transfers out of the portal. But it doesn't look like they took a lot of transfers. They took a few, but I'm just saying they didn't take a lot. They took a lot of high school kids, and that's good. That's a great place, and they're going to get it going up there.
It's a pretty neat spot up there. I've kind of looked up that school a little bit and seen where it's at, and I think it's a neat a lot of kids from around here want to go up to that North Carolina area. It's not too far. You get a little snow, you get the seasons, and it's a good place to be. Speaking of Western Carolina, Casey, if you have Trey Rose – I don't know where you were leaning next, but Trey Rose is a kid that was very late in the game. He's from Fletcher and got offered by West Florida as well. Coach, this one might be our best committed to the uncommitted because he was so late and we kind of shoved his name out there a little bit. And you have connections, obviously, in the coaching world. And he started to get some attention. I actually heard right after he got West Florida and Western Carolina that Florida State was a little interested too. Now, didn't land there, but this is a guy who's a tight end receiver coming out of Fletcher, but they ran the ball all the time, Stewart. So, it's tough for some of these guys to get seen.
Yeah, and so many times it's all about that fit too, right? Where which college program is going to hopefully take advantage of your skills, even if it's not, technically the position that you might be used to playing. And that's one of the cool things where we see so many guys like from Bowles who go to the service academies and just fit right into those offenses because that's what they're kind of used to in the past. But to see Trey get to go to Western Carolina is pretty cool. Join the Catamounts.
Caleb Francis, tell us a little bit about him, Coach, if we could. Committed to the uncommitted, going to Presbyterian.
Yeah, Caleb had he had a couple things going, and he really he went to visit last weekend. Gannon was a big lean. Gannon was D2. They've got Chase Cruz out of Baker County, which you're going to hit him here in a minute. But yeah, he ended up really thought it fit in good, a little bit closer to home than going up there to Pennsylvania. And a really good athlete. He can play on both sides. He can punt, and just a really good player. And real excited for him.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Well, let's bring up Chase Cruz going to Gannon, and I want you to give this backstory. Gannon got in on a lot of these committed to the uncommitted presented by Baker Sports guys, and there's a little bit of a local tie, right, that says, hey, we're going to pay. Those northern schools you don't think about all the time, even from a D2 or whatever. I know Michigan's got a couple of our guys, but they nationally recruit. But I'm not sure the teams like Gannon nationally recruit, but they obviously have some ties to this area, and Chase Cruz, offensive lineman out of Baker County, ended up there.
Yeah, so the recruiting guy, the offensive line coach now, was the D-line last year. Blake Stone, he played for me at Atlantic Coast. And so he went up to Gannon, and he's been up there, and he's made this area a high priority for them, basically up the coast from Daytona over to Tallahassee. They've got 2 coaches here. The reason being is the first year they signed 6 kids from Florida, and 5 started for them. And they went from 2 wins to 5 wins. Wow. And so the head coach was like, hey, man, we got to get some more of those guys from down there. So Blake, they made it a high priority, and they were in on 5 or 6 different kids, not just in our area. And with Blake being here, played here, he knows a lot of the local coaches, and they know his name and everything. So gives them a good in with that. And it's a good little place. And it's a place for those kids. If you're going to go far away, you got to be able to play, because that's what happened to them. They pick these schools, they go far away, and then they sit on the bench, and then they get homesick and they get lonely. If you get an opportunity, a place to go play where you can play as a true freshman, it makes the whole experience and everything much better. That's
pretty good perspective right there as a guy who's known a lot of kids that have either gone away, stayed close to home, and playing early and finding a good fit is important there. Casey, you're doing a great job here on all these different pictures. Let's get one more in there from our committed to the uncommitted. And again, it's not the end of it, but Baylor Newsome is a guy out of Bishop Kenny, ends up at Army coach. He did everything, but especially from that linebacker spot for the Crusaders.
Yeah, he's another one that really came out and had a tremendous year, sort of unheard of early, put on some good weight, ran well, but really did a lot of positive things for them. They've had their best year in a few this year, and stuck with it, played linebacker, played some running back, can run, can hit, leader of the defense, but a really good player, going to do real well up there at Army.
You talk about steals, by the way. How about Olivet Nazarene University? Have you heard of that one? It's in Illinois. That's where Arthur Fats Walker is headed.
Oh, wow. That is a steal.
Absolute steal.
So he's going up to Illinois.
I saw that on his Twitter today that he was going to Olivet Nazarene.
I'll give you another one. Jason Jackson. He was a late committed to the uncommitted for us out of St. Augustine High School. He ends up at Valdosta State. We know how good they are, right? Oh, yeah. Threatened for a national championship all the time. I think you're starting to see a lot of kids flood to the Valdosta States and the University of West Florida's from the Jacksonville area. 2 very good
rivalry
Division
right
II programs. Yeah, and they get to play each other. I think we hit all of our committed to the uncommitteds, at least for now. Before we let you go, Coach, let me get both you guys' takes on the college ranks. Let's start with Florida. Stuart, how's Napier doing?
I think it's certainly been a big recovery. I mean, if you want to go by numbers, if you want to go by, recruiting rankings, the class was in the 60s when they fired Mullen. The class was in the 70s after he had all those guys kind of leave, right? Napier was able to get it to bounce all the way back up to 26th. And then with the Pyburn commitment yesterday from Bowles, who signed this morning, it went up to number 19 in the composite rankings for 24/7. So if you believe in the rankings, then you got to like what he's doing as far as that transition class. And it's such a tough class because, so many of these relationships are built with that old coaching staff that's not there anymore. And you have to convince them that, the school is what you want to go to. And this is why you want to come to Florida. So props to Napier, who I will say in his first introductory press conference, he said, look, it's going to be quiet this period. We're not going to make a whole lot of noise as far as this first signing, commitment goes and everything goes, because we're going to do our time and our due diligence. But clearly they've been able to turn some guys and get some people to come to Gainesville.
Hi, Coach. How about your Florida State Seminoles? How's Mike Norvell doing?
Oh, I think they pulled in a couple more offensive linemen. They didn't really have a lot of needs. They hit the portal with the wideouts pretty hard in their high need, but they pulled in a couple really good offensive linemen, a preferred walk-on. You notice there's been a few more preferred walk-ons in the big schools lately that are turning down, like FIU and maybe Charleston Southern and that, because of, especially quarterbacks, because of the portal. And but I thought Florida State did a really nice job getting their need area and everything. But one thing I noticed about Florida, I don't mean to overstep my bounds, but the only thing I was a little bit negative on was they signed one kid from the state of Florida in this class in February.
Wow.
If you look at the whatever 10, 12 kids they signed.
Is that just Pyburn?
Yeah, just Pyburn from the state of Florida.
You did mention the preferred walk-ons. Bryce Capers from Riverside going to the Gainesville as a walk-on as well, preferred walk-on.
Good point.
Yes, and like I said, there are going to be a few more of those, especially if they're really good students, full Pell and that in the state schools and everything. But really, I thought Florida State finished up strong. They had a really good class, really good time in the portal, but I thought they finished up strong with their needs that they needed.
All right, Kevin Sullivan, we appreciate it, man. Really, the biggest rival for Florida State is Deion Sanders, so keep him away from the recruits. Hey, thanks for checking in on the Committed to the Uncommitted. It's presented by Baker Sports. We appreciate your help all year long, man.
All right, Casey, thanks. We'll talk to you all later.
All right, that is Kevin Sullivan. We got to take a timeout. Austin joins us again. We got football at 5. We're going to open up some football cards on the show today as well. Spend some money. Let's make some money. A little bang. Maybe. How about a kaboom? Oh, Casey's smiling. He knows what I'm talking about. We'll be back. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Three of the biggest names in sports will be at Palm Beach Autographs in the Avenues Mall in February. Mike Tyson, Ric Flair, and Pete Rose all on one weekend at Palm Beach Autographs. On Thursday, February 24th, Tyson is in town. Then on Friday, the all-time hit king Pete Rose. And Saturday, the wrestling icon Ric Flair. PalmBeachAutographs.com/signings for more information and times. Tickets for autographs and professional photo opportunities are available at Palm Beach Autographs in the Avenues Mall or online at PalmBeachAutographs.com. Mike Tyson, Pete Rose, Ric Flair in Jacksonville, February 24th, 25th, and 26th.
Injured? Hire America's largest injury firm, Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
In today's world, there's a lot of ways to know what's happening. At Action News Jax, we make sure our local stories have more detail, so you get every angle that impacts you. We dig for answers because you deserve the whole story. Taking time to provide context so you're clear on what's really going on. Because we know information is thrown at you 24/7. And we want you to know that Action News Jax is local coverage you can count on.
Voted Best Gift of the Year for golfers by the ESPN 690 Golf Enthusiast Review Board. Want to make the golfer in your life love you even more? Order the 2022 ESPN Dream 18 card for just $69. Big discounts on golf all year. Golf courses are raising their rates with the recent boom. The Dream 18 card has even more value now. For less than dinner for two at your favorite upscale restaurant, you will receive tremendously discounted rounds at some of the area's best golf courses. Golf Club at Southampton, St. John's Golf and Country Club, Hidden Hills, Osprey Cove, the Yards added this year, Amelia River Golf Club, Eagle Landing, Fleming Island Golf Club, and Queens Harbor Yacht and Country Club. Plus, you'll receive a free smoothie from Smoothie King, a free hat from Dome Hats, a free shirt at Baker's Sports, and a discount on a purchase at Palm Beach Autographs. Play 2 rounds of golf, and the card pays for itself. $69, that's it. Some of the proceeds go to the Dream 18 charity as well. Buy the card at ActionSportsJaxDream18.com. Supplies are limited. Go to ActionSportsJaxDream18.com.
The right time for the best water is right now. CGC Water Treatment wants to make sure your family's water is clean, healthy, and tastes great. CGC Water's done that for my family for a handful of years now, and it all starts with a Connecticut system. American-made and installed by the pros at CGC Water Treatment. Contact CGC Water Treatment now for your free water test. Connecticut systems remove up to 99% of contaminants. Remember, if you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. Connecticut makes the world's most efficient softeners, twin-tank, non-electric systems that use less salt and water during regeneration. Right now, save up to $600 on select system packages. Financing available with approved credit. Just call CGC Water at 904-552-1242 and ask about the Conway Club, the new service program that will save you money on salt, filters, delivery, parts, and labor. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. Proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars and your local independent Connecticut dealer.
Men, when you're in the mood for love but you have ED or PE and those little blue pills haven't worked, here's a message from Prime Men's Medical Center.
I'm Dr. Rabinski. If Viagra, Cialis, or Levitra have let you down, Prime Men's Medical Center offers custom-blended medications. Men are lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer, and it's affordable.
Call 904-664-8217. We guarantee you'll see results on your first visit or you pay nothing. Call 904-664-8217.
The incentivizing losing is not bigger or more important, but it's new. It feels like something that I would have told you does not happen. I would have said Stephen Ross instructed the GM, the president, whoever it is, you know what, don't put together the most competitive roster, trade away players, all of that. We want to try and maximize our draft capital. I would not have anticipated that he would have offered the coach specific incentives to lose games.
We have now lasted so long. That's Mike Greenberg, by the way, obviously on the Flores suit, the situation down in Miami. We've lasted so long on the show that we've gone through so many signing days that I don't even ask Austin about signing day anymore.
Oh, yeah.
We know everybody knows the story.
You know the story.
And I didn't have one.
It's kind of nice. It's kind of nice that we're at that point.
Yeah, it's nice. You know? I don't have to do that.
Who would have thought, Casey, but also Stewart.
We've almost exhausted all the Austin stories.
Listen, Stewart, stop it up.
I still got some deep cuts. Don't worry. I mean, Brent's talking about urinating and sneezing, so I can go. I
didn't
go
hear
to the
that
library.
off the top of the show.
Have you ever done that?
I can go. No one's done that.
Yeah, people have done that.
Okay.
When you go to the bathroom and you sneeze while you're going to the bathroom, it happened to me tonight.
But it was, yeah. All right.
I mean, unless
it's a hard thing to keep on track, man. I'm just telling you.
I'm not trying to bring this back.
Need to make the bowl bigger.
My bad. No, I think the bowl's just.
Speaking of bowls,
yeah,
or Coliseums,
yeah.
Weber's heading out to L.A. next week. Next week, he's going to go watch a race, then do a little of the Super Bowl stuff, do a little ski. He's got a little everything planned. But
go skiing on Tuesday.
Yeah,
Tahoe, or where are you going?
Back in Denver. Loveland.
He's going to like L.A., then to Denver, then to L.A., all these places.
Yeah.
Do you know people in Denver, I assume?
Yeah.
Okay, that's why. Okay.
Yep.
Because Lake Tahoe is a little closer.
Yeah. It's just Denver's on the way back to Jacksonville.
I got you.
Yeah.
Right on. Cool.
So, Carlos, you fired up, man. It looks pretty cool.
I'm so pumped. I'm so pumped for this race this weekend. And I know there's a lot of detractors that are thinking it's just going to be this big sideshow. A lot of the traditionalists don't like it. They're like, it's always been at Daytona. It's always been at Daytona because the Clash has always been at Daytona. That's how you start the season, right? Well, last year they jumped the shark, all right? Last year they put it on the road course last year. It was on a Tuesday. It would have been on a Tuesday again this year. This is great. This is a great way to spotlight your sport, and let's see what happens. It's the first appearance of the brand new next-gen car, which is really cool. I'm curious to see. Yes, they're not going to be going 200 miles per hour because they're on a quarter-mile track. They're going to be beating and banging in the corners and taking people out for the last transfer spots. It's going to be like a short-track Saturday night for race fans and what they're used to. So,
what is this, Bristol?
It's Bristol, baby.
Yeah.
It's Coliseum, baby.
That's the only thing I know.
Yeah. But this is an even shorter track than that.
Bristol.
So, yeah.
Really? So you're actually going to have crashes then, probably.
Yeah, they're gonna be knocking each other around.
It looks really cool.
It does. The scenics are going to be awesome. The visuals are going to be great. So I look forward to checking that out this weekend.
Yeah, it's really weird, man. We'll be going out to the Super Bowl next week. We're not doing it this year, but that's why Stuart was trying to work around all this stuff, but he's still going to go out to the races and then go skiing a little bit. But have fun, man.
I will.
That'll be a lot of fun. And by the way, check us out, Action Sports Jax Primetime all weekend long. Stuart will have reports from out there at the Coliseum.
Yeah, had a conversation with Ryan Blaney the other day, driver the number 12
That's your
car.
guy.
My guy. Okay. All aboard the Blaney trainee, and we'll have that convo on Saturday with more of our coverage from out of the Coliseum.
All right, football at 5. What's the latest on the Jaguars search and what's happening in the NFL on this week before the Super Bowl? We'll have that on ESPN 690. Plus, we're opening some cards. We got that today. Bang! When we come back.
Well, the holidays are behind us, and that means nothing but open road ahead. So make every mile this new year the best it can be in a new Toyota from Arlington Toyota. Camry, Corolla, RAV4, Tundra, Tacoma. Arlington Toyota's got 500 new Toyotas available and ready for wherever you want to go in 2022. Plus, every new car purchase from Arlington Toyota comes with a lifetime warranty and Arlington's 30-day exchange program. Where will your new Toyota take you in 2022? Find out and shop arlingtontoyota.com today.
Looking for a great new career? Join Atlantic Coast Asphalt for their in-person hiring event Wednesday, February 2nd from 3 to 6 p.m. Atlantic Coast Asphalt has great jobs: estimators, Class A CDL drivers, project engineers, heavy equipment operators, paving superintendents, quality control techs, even laborers. Interviews on-site, in person. They're hiring on the spot. Upgrade your career at Atlantic Coast Asphalt Wednesday, February 2nd from 3 to 6 p.m. 9622 Florida Mining Boulevard. An equal opportunity employer.
ESPN 690 is home for the Florida Sportsman Fishing Show hosted by Captain Rick Riles. Tune in every Saturday morning from 7 to 9 a.m. to find out what's biting now. Fishing so fresh, you can almost smell it.
Now is the time to get an estimate on replacement windows. American Window Products of Jacksonville is a high-volume dealer offering a huge selection of products to keep your costs low. New windows from American Window Products can lower your energy costs and increase your curb appeal and security, all without breaking the bank. Call American Window Products for a free estimate at 904-667-0873 or visit AmericanWindowProducts.com.
If you're involved in a legal dispute, call me, Glenn Levine, a board-certified civil trial lawyer at the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000, and take back control of your life.
Office in Jacksonville.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690, Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKB Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
I'm Doug Brown. In his first year as Dolphins coach, Brian Flores tells ESPN's Get Up he was offered $100,000 per loss by team owner Stephen Ross to try to get the number 1 draft pick. Flores didn't go along with it, and he believes that's part of the reason he was fired. ESPN's Chris Mortensen on the recent firings of Flores and David Culley.
I really was demoralized when those things happened, and I've stated it on Twitter, and I believe it. I think Flores' actions at this point are very courageous and necessary and courageous as I've experienced covering sports in 50 years.
Chris Mortensen on Barton Hahn. Flores is suing the NFL, the Dolphins, Broncos, and Giants for racial discrimination and unethical practices. Former Browns coach Hugh Jackson says today he was offered money to lose games in 2016 and 2017. After almost 2 years, the Washington football team has a new name, the Commanders. The franchise's old name was retired in 2020 after 87 years.
Do you own or rent your home? Sure you do. Fortunately, Geico makes it easy to bundle your home and car insurance. It's a good thing, too, because having a home is hard work. Go to geico.com, get a quote, and see how much you could save. Geico.com. Easy.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios.
This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
You know, that was a conversation about not doing as much as we needed to do to win football games. Take a flight, go on vacation. I'll give you $100,000 per loss. Like, those are just the exact words. That's not something. Look, I deal in truth, and I say that to the players as well. I'm going to give you good news, bad news, but it's going to be the truth. It's going to be honest. So to disrespect the game that way was something that, trust was lost, and there were certainly some strained relationships, and ultimately I think that was to my demise.
Former Dolphins coach Brian Flores sued against the NFL. That's a lawsuit against the NFL. And part of it, and understand why the bigger story is, and maybe the motivation behind it is the discrimination in the hiring process. But, I mean, don't sleep on the integrity of the game story and the tanking, which we have all kind of passed over as, okay, we get it. But different reports out of Cleveland now. And Miami tank for Tua. And this is where this is coming from Flores, where he says he would have been paid $100,000. I think somebody else suggests, I don't think they were kidding. I got to double check on, see some of this stuff on social media, but I think somebody suggested that even if not take $100,000, go on vacation or something during the season, whatever, right? Don't be afraid to take some days off, or it does worry me a little bit on this front. Is there a playbook on how to handle tanking to the point where the Jags potentially could have got involved in that? See, I don't think so. I think the Jags were pretty bad.
Yeah.
And I think this year they proved that, well, you can be pretty bad and still end up with the first pick.
Yeah.
But I also think there were times last year we wondered about, again, I brought this up yesterday, Minshew, and why wasn't he playing? But he also had kind of fallen out of favor with the coach, so it made sense. I mean, Doug Marrone's fighting for his job. I mean, are you willing to risk that? So
what about James Robinson, though?
Yeah, and we still don't know, right? It's a little muddy on that front.
Yeah, I mean, what happens? I mean, I don't think this would happen because, I don't think James Robinson's like that. But if he had a grievance with the team, what happens if he comes out and says, hey, I wanted to play, and I played the entire season on this injury or in some capacity with the injury, and then all of a sudden the last couple games of the season, I couldn't. They wouldn't let me. I think that would be an issue.
Yeah, and by the way, I think Mr. Pico Boulevard brings up, was Detroit's coach offered anything at 0-16?
Yeah.
See, when Detroit did it, what's interesting about that conversation is when Detroit lost, it felt very genuine. Right?
Yeah,
because they were Detroit.
Yeah,
but
sure.
in Cleveland lost, they were Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
Even when the Jags lost, well, they're kind of the Jags.
Sure.
Right? I mean, they've been bad.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not out of the realm for them to end up with the number one pick and end up 1-15.
Yeah.
The Miami Dolphins do feel a little bit different in that sense. And the other part of the Miami Dolphins is they didn't. They actually won games. They ended up with the 5th overall pick. And so you're talking about a team that did not get the number one pick, did not successfully tank, if you will. That's where these allegations are coming from. They would be probably even more believable if they were initiated and started with somebody out of the Jags building or the Detroit building or the Cleveland building, because they ended up as the number one pick.
Yeah. As far as do these accusations, I mean, they should be taken seriously, but how accurate are they? How true are they? I mean, I just look at it like this. Obviously, the goal right now of Brian Flores is to shake up the NFL and say there's racial discrimination going on in terms of the hiring process. He didn't have to come out and say, that the owner was giving me money to try to throw games. Like, that has nothing to do with in terms of racial discrimination. That's another thing all in itself. But the fact that Flores also alluded to that, maybe away from even the bigger point of the discrimination, kind of shows like he might have something here. Then I'm not sure how you prove it. It's probably his word versus somebody else's word, unless there's emails or text messages confirming this whole thing. But I mean, once again, I guess you're innocent until proven guilty, but you got to think that he's got some merit for just bringing this up out of nowhere when he's trying to tackle racial discrimination as well.
Yeah. And how much, as a guy who played in the league, if you found this out, that it was happening,
I'd be heated.
Would you?
Oh, I'd be irate. Absolutely.
Yeah. And by the way, you come from a place that last year when the Jags and the fan base, now keep in mind, the fan base was like, tank for Trevor, right? Yeah. It was kind of like, comes as almost like a comical type thing.
Yeah.
You were not in line with that.
No.
You were a big believer in like, no, you don't want to train yourself to lose. You don't go out there to lose. Guys in the locker room don't lose. Like, you understand what the fans are saying. You understand what the pot of gold potentially at the end of it.
Yeah.
Like, we get that context, but sometimes like us in the media, fans as well, fall in love with that context to the point where like, well, I had someone on my shoulders doing JETS, Jets at a local establishment.
Sure did.
You probably wouldn't have come along for that ride, is my point.
I wouldn't have been on that one. No.
Well, that's good, because you would have been really heavy.
No, for sure. No, I mean, at the end of the day, like, am I happy Trevor Lawrence is here? Absolutely. How could I not be? But just, being a former player, being in the locker room, being on that field, there's no way I would ever cheer for a team that I want to be successful, that obviously I care about. I would never cheer for them to intentionally lose. Just not how I'm wired. But I get people, wanting Trevor Lawrence, and dude, I'm not saying that's a wrong thing. I get it. The ends justify the means, by all means. I can't come with you on that one. And I've been clear about that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I just wanted to set it right for people who hadn't heard you say that.
Yeah.
But so the point being is you would, as a player, if you're a Miami Dolphins player and that's happened, you didn't know about that, and Flores hadn't told you about that, but now you're finding out about that, and that's a factual thing. Well, you're ticked off.
Yeah, well, even if, and once again, like, this is why it kind of leads me to believe I think James Robinson might have been kind of hurt, just because if I'm in that locker room and I'm on that team, now 2 years ago during that season, and, Trevor Lawrence is all the talk, and then all of a sudden James Robinson just doesn't play, and he can play, and he wants to play, and they won't let him play. If I'm a player in that locker room, I'm ticked off as well, because I'm not trying to lose. Like, do you think the players back then were like, well, hey, yeah, this was a horrible season, but at least we can lose and get Trevor Lawrence next year, because half those guys aren't going to be there next year. So you can't think that way. So, yeah, I think, once again, if these, accusations come to light and they're truthful, yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of ticked off players in that locker room for Miami Dolphins, and how could there not be? Because that owner's still in charge, by the way. So you're walking in that building every single day. You're walking in that practice facility every single day, that weight room every single day, and the guy that owns everything, the guy that's in charge, the CEO, was trying to pay your head coach to lose. That would not sit well with me.
Well, and think about it from like any business structure, right? I mean, I would bet every business is like, man, I wish we had this. I wish we had more resources. I wish we had this, a better benefit plan. I wish we had, and your owner was, now listen, in the business world, people's ownership cheaps out sometimes, right? Or they find ways to streamline, and it's a lot different than it used to be. Like, that's the way business is, right? Yeah. In general. But if you're intentionally taking those things away even more, that creates angst inside a building. So I guess the good news is, my guess is not too many people knew about this, at least during the time they were living in it. But in hindsight, to find that out, yeah, I think that would be certainly upsetting on this front. Hey, Senior Bowl coming up. Bulky's not there. We talk a little bit about that. Jags scouts are there. Senior Bowl has been a place where the Jags have found some people.
Yeah.
We've even found our co-host here on ESPN 690
there
at the
you go,
Senior
man.
Bowl.
Yeah, you did.
So way back when?
Yeah.
Before the show even started. What are they looking for? What positions do you think they can look for here? They're obviously not looking for a quarterback.
Yep.
They have the first pick, so they don't necessarily need to go maybe get a pass rusher or left tackle or one of those kind of players. They can get that at the top of the draft. There's a receiver depth in this draft, but not all the top receivers are even there at the Senior Bowl. What are we looking at here? We looking at third, fourth, fifth round kind of guys, middle round guys that the Jags can still find some starters? And what specific positions do you think they could look in?
So, I mean, I think you have to, once again, if this is about Trevor Lawrence, you have to have wide receivers. Assuming unless you trade down, you're not taking wide receiver at number one. So if you can get a wide receiver second, third, fourth round, that guy might be at the Senior Bowl. So I think wide receivers.
Maybe all 3 rounds.
Of course. So wide receiver is definitely a necessity. Tight end is definitely a necessity. I think depending how the draft shakes out, offensive line is definitely a necessity as well. So I would, if we're focusing on Trevor Lawrence, wide receiver, tight end, offensive line.
Yeah, and
I think a sprinkle running back on there too as well.
Like a late round running back.
Yeah. I mean, you have to.
Still third. Well, with Travis Etienne, assuming he's healthy, what kind of back are you looking for? More of a pounded back?
No, I mean, I just think a back that's healthy because, I mean, assuming. Like, we don't know.
Well, but last year, like before Etienne was picked, we all said, like, you got a guy that can pound it.
Sure.
Right? So you need a third down back, a scat back type, a guy that can do those kind of things. Well, I think you got to go in this season hoping at least and thinking that you're going to have that kind of player in ETN, the ability to do that. I don't think James is as reliable until we know more about James's injury and how he's recovering. So does that kind of lend you to think, I don't think Carlos Hyde's going to be around. So from a running back standpoint, could it be a Brian Robinson type out of Alabama? Right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that definitely could be. It's kind of hard to foresee, though, because, I mean, I'm not sure how and I don't know who the new regime is going to be, but who the next regime, how they're going to see Travis Etienne. Like, are they going to see him as more of a guy that you can maybe put in the slot and a la Deebo Samuel a little bit? Do they see him as a 3-down running back? Is he going to be getting primarily most of the workload until James Robinson comes back to health? It's hard to say.
Rumor has it Austin Lane, big Dameon Pierce guy.
Oh, I'm a big Dameon Pierce guy, by the way, too. Looking good. Hey, I'll tell you right. Casey, fast twitch, okay? Put this down. Fast twitch, great motor, finish. I was watching the Senior Bowl with Casey a little bit, and guy really pops out on film.
By the way, Pierce is a guy that people are going to like in the NFL, and they're going to ask, and because it was a huge narrative during the football season, that why aren't the Gators giving it to him more? And he might be a typical Gator player over the last, I don't know, decade that doesn't perform in the college ranks because he's either misused or not coached well enough or whatever, as well as he does in the NFL ranks. I mean, the Gators' offensive line for a bit there, you remember back like at whatever it was Muschamp or McElwain days weren't very good. And then all of a sudden they had 4 guys like starting in the NFL.
Yeah.
You know? And so Pierce is going to probably be – a lot of people predict that Pierce – in fact, they would put money on it, that Pierce is going to be a very productive NFL player. And almost contradict the way they used him at the collegiate level. He was productive when they used him. They just didn't use him a whole lot.
5 yards a carry.
He looks good, man, but don't draft him in Jacksonville because we don't need more Florida Gators in the team. hasn't panned out well. I'm just
people
kidding.
are hurt, scarred on that end. Hey, what do you guys know? What do you think from a tight end standpoint? The Trey McBride kid out of Colorado State is, but there's no Freiermuth, right? There's nobody like Pitts. Is there anybody that's like buzzing? Is McBride more like a Freiermuth? Could he have that kind of production? The Jags need to get better at tight end, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think the top guy is the dude out of A&M, isn't it?
Yes.
Weidemeyer, because he can kind of do everything. In terms of stats, may not blow your socks off, but in terms of like athleticism, in terms of route running, I think like he's probably the best dude that like on paper you would say, because bigger university. There's some smaller school
guys. Is he at the Senior Bowl?
That I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't think he's at the Senior Bowl. That's why I guess
he doesn't need. He's the unquestioned number 1 tight end.
Yeah.
Oh, so he already knows what's up then.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's probably the guy you have to look at, but if he's not at the Senior Bowl, then can't look at him.
Yeah, but so that's why I bring up a guy like McBride. He's out of Colorado State. And there are a couple other guys there. You know much about Jake Ferguson out of Wisconsin?
Oh, yeah. Dude, that's Barry Alvarez's nephew. Wisconsin,
he's going to be a blocking guy, right?
Well, not necessarily, no. So Wisconsin always kind of, if you remember Owen Daniels when I used to play, he reminds me a lot of Owen Daniels, who had a pretty good career.
No, he did.
For
Houston, right?
Yeah, who had pretty good, at least from Wisconsin, had a pretty good career for Houston.
Okay.
Kind of like doesn't do anything like off the charts in terms of a pretty good run blocker. Not the most athletic guy, but dependable, good route runner, and he's got good hands.
Isaiah Likely is a guy being mentioned on the YouTube feed. Great name.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, he's good.
Coastal
Carolina,
right?
Yeah.
Okay. So there are some tight ends, and I think the Jags. Listen, the Jags have a lot of places to go.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, defensive linemen, depending on, again, this all shapes up what do they do in free agency.
Yep.
We hope they get a receiver in free agency. We hope they potentially can keep a guy like DJ Chark.
Mm-hmm.
They'll have Dan Arnold, but they need to add a tight end, and they need to add maybe another wide receiver. They need to potentially reshape the offensive line depending on what decisions they make. They really need, on the defensive side of the ball, their top priority, in my opinion, is an interior defensive lineman.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Even though at the top of the draft you might get a pass rusher, and that's okay. You can never have enough.
Yeah.
But your top need potentially from a body standpoint, a stud player standpoint, an impact on defense standpoint, you can make the case is certainly an interior defensive lineman. They've got some bodies, but do they have a bona fide blue chip kind of player? That has not showed itself yet.
No, they do not. It's definitely going to be a position of need. But once again, depending what kind of defense they run.
Well, that's
like if you're going to be a 3-4 defense, well, then you got to get that big nose tackle. Davis would be perfect from Georgia, but it's just it's hard to foresee right now. We're not really sure what you're going to be able to do in terms of scheme wise. Let me ask you this though, and I think if you talk to anybody, this Jalen Weidemeyer is probably unequivocally the best tight end in this class.
Yeah.
If we go back to last year, it was obviously Kyle Pitts, but Kyle Pitts was kind of an anomaly. Like he was a freak athlete.
Right?
So the next guy in line would have been Pat Freiermuth. Like, if you can get Pat Freiermuth production out of Jalen Weidemeyer his rookie year, and I'm not sure where Weidemeyer's picked to go. I don't think he's going to go in the first round. Maybe he might go in the first round. But, do you gamble on him in the second round then? Or is it not worth it? As I'm saying, if you can get Pat Freiermuth production in the second round this year, do you take it?
Let me look up his stats.
497, 7 touchdowns, 60 catches. 7 touchdowns. Just want to reiterate.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm leaning toward yes, but I also know they do have Arnold as well that's going to eat into some of that. Freiermuth, did anybody eat into him? He was the main guy at their tight end spot.
No, they had somebody else.
Yeah, they did. Ebron, right?
Yeah, Eric Ebron.
Did he get hurt the second half of the year?
Yeah, he did get hurt eventually. I mean, because Freiermuth wasn't the starter, and then he ended up just being better.
Listen,
Ben liked him.
I would say yes to answer your question.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say yeah, I'd take that.
Yeah.
Because, by the way, that not only is okay for his rookie year, we've done this before. Tight ends don't always pop right away. And so that would, if he can have that kind of production in year one, then I'm starting to think, okay, he can build off that, and by year 3 be a Pro Bowl guy potentially.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And Dan Arnold's not going to be around forever. And so you're not going to just, again, I'm higher on Dan Arnold than I should be. I really am.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. But I saw Dan Arnold play for the Jags in the limited time. I was like, damn, man, that looks different. Like that his speed from that position, that's like what they've been chasing for all these years. Somebody that can do some of those things. He could create a mismatch. And so, but I don't want to settle on Dan Arnold for 2 reasons. Well, he only played like a handful of games and he got hurt. And also, I think he's just under contract for this year. And then who knows what happens after that. So, and by the way, like, you can't have just one tight end. Okay, Manhurst can block, but he's not going to do much more than that. So, yeah, I think I would. I think what I'd have to ask myself is, what's that come at the expense of? I got a pass rusher, let's just say in round 1, right?
Yep.
In round 2, I get a tight end. But should I have really gotten a wide receiver? Treylon Burks or somebody like that. And I think I'll probably say wide receiver instead of tight end.
Yeah.
Now, if the tight end slips all the way down to the 3rd round, now you're talking.
Sure.
But I don't know at 33 if I'm signing. Like, again, would you? This is a great question to ask. You know what Freiermuth did, because I like how you presented it. Would you go try to, if Treylon Burks or somebody like that were to be available at 33, would you take Burks and what he might be, or would you take Freiermuth and what he is and can be at the tight end spot?
I mean, once again, it kind of depends what the roster is going to look like.
Yeah.
I would probably take Burks more than, because I think a wide receiver. I think this team's in dire need of a bona fide receiver more than it is in dire need of a above average to great tight end.
Yeah.
Just because, Dan Arnold can fill in for a while. What we've seen from Laviska Shenault, Marvin Jones, and we'll see with Chark. I mean, you're not confident with that.
Yeah, I agree. Listen, by the way, I agree with what you're saying. Playmaker, right? I understand why tight end can be part of the offense and a playmaking part of the offense, but I look at the outside guys and think, okay, they can really be a playmaker. Big Diesel says Burks going to top. Listen, I was just throwing a name out there.
Sure.
Who knows where Burks goes? He has slid up a lot of mock drafts. We'll see where he goes. But you even bring up Dotson. Okay, that's my point. The Dotsons, the David Bells, the whoever you want in that spot. The point being a playmaking wide receiver or a productive tight end. I still think right now, the way this roster is built, I would be leaning toward a playmaking wide receiver.
Oh, for sure. I'm definitely drafting wide receiver more than tight end in the 2nd round or even probably the 3rd round, because I think I can get a better tight end too in free agency.
You know what was just tremendous?
If I needed that.
It was tremendous about the last 5 minutes. First time I talked about the roster of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah, I know.
Like that's really
they do have one, yeah.
Like, holy cow. It just struck me like, oh my gosh, we're actually talking what?
Football stuff?
Like the Jags, they may be coachless when the season begins, but they are going to roll out some players.
Yeah.
And it will be really cool to see how the community drafts everybody.
Yep.
When we have a vote.
We should try it.
Take and vote? We're going to do that, by the way. One of our Shock Your Mocks is we take poll questions.
Okay.
And we vote live on draft night.
Okay.
Right? We'll go ahead early days before it, too, for a Shock Your Mock.
Okay.
But then we vote in live action, right?
Okay.
On draft night.
Okay.
And number 1, number 33, we pick 4 options that's still on the table.
Okay.
And we got to see if we pick better than the Jags pick.
Okay.
As a people, as a community, as a shareholder, as a stakeholder.
Okay. I'm not mad at that.
Yeah.
Kind of let the people decide a little bit.
I mean, it's just at least a practice run because we might be calling plays.
You never know, man.
As a stadium, might be calling play. Might put it up on the big boards because we don't have a coaching staff.
Yeah.
So then we're just going to, instead of the helmet game, they play the play calling game.
I like it.
Everybody in the huddle looks up at the screen.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate the defense knows what potentially could be
You'd
called.
Be kind of at a disadvantage a little bit.
Let
me go ahead and give you guys some tight end free agents quickly. Let me know if any of these guys ring your ears. Like a guy you want to bring in. Zach Ertz.
Yep.
Yeah? Brent.
Yeah, I would.
CJ Uzma.
Oh, the Cincinnati guy?
Yes.
Yeah. No.
No? Okay.
I'd be okay with him.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, we could easily go yes for everybody because they have no tight end.
Okay, but let me ask you this.
But if I'm being picky, no.
Do you like him as a bona fide starter even over Dan Arnold? Okay, yeah. Eric Ebron.
No.
Gerald Everett from Seattle.
Not as a bona fide one, but interested.
Here's what I say. Like, he doesn't do much for me.
Mm-hmm.
But then I watch him catching touchdowns on Monday night and Sunday nights and with all these other teams, and I'm like sitting there watching the Jags tight ends not do that much.
Yeah.
So this year I would say you asked me that question in the offseason. I was like, yeah, I feel like he's a little older and slower and kind of lose it. I don't know if I'd take a gamble on him.
Yeah.
But then
he's 27.
Is that all he is?
Yes.
God, he doesn't look dynamic to me.
Okay.
At that, but then I look at him and it's like, yes, I would take him.
Okay.
Is that all he is 27?
27. Speaking of a guy who's 34 years old, Jared Cook.
That's too old for me.
Might be culture play.
Okay. Casey's on the fence. Brent, too old? I mean, he's old. It's up there for sure.
I mean, he was old this year, and
Maybe
he was
that's
catching
what I was
touchdowns
confusing.
from Herbert.
I mean,
maybe it was really Jared Cook that I was thinking.
Well, I mean, they had the same amount of touchdowns.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mo Alley Cox.
Yes, actually.
Indianapolis.
He's a freak.
He is a freak.
Did he play this
year? He had 4 touchdowns as well.
Yeah.
He did.
But they play
but
who's the other tight end?
Doyle.
They play Doyle a lot.
Yes.
And Carson Wentz also.
I feel like those two guys. I feel like those two guys have been on tight ends of the Indianapolis Colts for like 12 years.
Here's one that could theoretically be removed, but this is a giant risk, I think. Robert Tonyan. Green Bay. Guy should have been a Pro Bowler 2 years ago. Or an All-Pro, but Evan Ingram beat him out.
But to Casey's point, I think I'd say yes on like almost all of them.
Okay.
I mean, I'm actually playing the game like in my head. I'm like, what would you have to pay him?
Yeah.
What you get these other guys at?
Yep.
Yeah.
So I say no for what you have to pay him.
Keep in mind, like what
probably the most.
Which one?
Tonyan. I would say. I mean, he's
well,
coming off an injury.
Zuma though. After the Super Bowl.
Tonyan. I think.
I mean,
Tonyan's making
in terms
more.
of like what he's going to command now, coming off because he had a nice season for them.
Yeah,
a
but
nice season against the Jags.
No, for sure.
It's true.
I mean, if you go back to 2000 and like last year, I think Tonyan had some pretty good numbers last year. Yeah.
That's why I said no to those guys. Because I think you overpay them and you run into a.
You know what's interesting though? The story is that they cheaped out on a guy like Arnold, and then they trade for him later on. Like they really could have had him, and then talks stalled. Is the story I've heard.
Yeah.
And it's like, would you really have overpaid? I mean, you have nothing at tight end. Like you're not good enough at that position for the way the game is played right now to help your quarterback out. Like, can you really overpay? I mean, quite frankly, you're going to overpay for a receiver too.
Yeah.
Most likely.
I got a few more guys here for you. Evan Ingram from New York.
I'd take a gamble on that.
Yeah.
Depends on the price.
Okay. David Njoku.
Yeah, all day.
Well, maybe you don't need to. They're all free agents.
Correct. I mean, well, I'm sure some get tagged, some get re-signed, but the way it sits right now, these guys will all be free agents.
Well, I'll tell you
Njoku,
what.
that's my guy.
I'll tell you what.
And
now.
I have one more for
and
you.
He wanted to be traded.
Yeah.
I have one more who I think is intriguing, but I don't like him at all. But we'll see. Mike Gesicki.
Twice on Sunday.
Yeah, you would.
He's another
bad attitude.
Jags killer in London.
I don't like his attitude.
Well,
sometimes, but hey,
yeah,
I
if
get
you can
it.
ball, you can ball.
I get it. No, it's for sure. Yeah. So
I'll tell you what you just said. That's a good free agent class to take a gamble on.
I mean, it beats last year's where
It
it was
really
like
is.
it
There
seemed
was
like the
nobody.
Patriots got both of them. That was it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was the two big ones, and that was about it. Felt like,
Yeah.
We thought Njoku actually might get traded, and he never did.
And keep in mind, there's also Gronk as well, but who knows?
Yeah, I think he's going to retire.
And there's Jimmy Graham as well, but he's 35 years
To
old.
be honest with you, like even Gronk, like would you really want Gronk right now, or do you feel like Brady makes him still so good and he's so old, or do you think he's not old? I know by age he's not old, but he feels like, does he just work with Brady, or do you think he's still impactful like on the Jacksonville Jaguars?
I mean, it would never happen because I think he does need Brady, but like if he came at a pretty low price, I would definitely pull the trigger
Sign
on
up
Gronk.
for it, yeah.
I mean, I'd sign up for it.
And like you said,
Or
I mean,
a high price.
he looks old to me if I remember the old, but the new Gronk actually is really freshened up. I mean, he looks a few years younger.
He's been bathing in CBDs the past couple of years.
And he's like,
Feeling
he
good.
was only 32, I think, his age.
Yeah.
I still think he hangs it up.
Yeah.
He came back, got it done, and now hangs it up. Let's get our Florida Sports and Fishing report in real quick. Captain Rick Riles, what's happening? The weather's popping out there.
Brent, I'm a simple guy, and I'm not very smart. But with our football team, would you explain to me what the major risk is on anything? I mean, I'm sorry, but when you're as good as we are, you don't look at it and say, now that's too big a risk. Why, are we going to get worse? I mean, come on, Brent.
Yeah, that's a fair point. I can't argue against that.
Pretty
nice
weather the last couple of days.
That's like me going fishing and catching nothing every time out. There's no risk.
That's right. Yeah. I'm not going to change lakes. I don't want to risk it. What? What are you risking exactly? Yep. Let me tell you, much better weather yesterday than actually there was fishing. We were out at the Gulf Stream. We were about 65 miles off, and we caught a few mahi. We caught 3 or 4 mahi, and that was about it on the troll. We then went bottom fishing and did well on the triggerfish. Triggerfish are biting very well, so that's a plus. I talked to David Voorhees. He said he probably saw 20 to 30 snook today. He said he saw several schools of reds, just could not get them interested, and that's exactly what we dealt with yesterday. We had a big wahoo come lay under the boat for 15 minutes or so, and we threw everything we had at him. He wouldn't bite. Now, the weather was good today. It's going to be marginal for the next couple of days, and then by Saturday we got another front rolling in, and it's really going to get ugly. So my advice to you is fish as soon as you can. It's a beautiful evening. Check it tomorrow. That low tide late in the evening should have reds on the flats. Hopefully they'll be anxious to go. But you can count on one thing. We'll be back tomorrow with another fishing report brought to you by CSS Landscaping and Workman's Quick Fix Plumbing. Thank you, Brad.
Thanks, Captain Rick. Appreciate it. Captain Rick every day. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Listen on Saturday mornings at 7 a.m. also on ESPN 690.
So I apologize. I missed one player.
I'm in. Here we
that's going to be a free agent this up-and-coming season. 25 years old.
Take him.
Has the most touchdowns out of the free agent class I just named, and has the most yardage and the most receptions out of the guys that I've named throughout this exercise.
He's 25?
Care to guess who this is? So theoretically, he's going to be going on his second deal, which you'll get. I don't see this team letting this dude go, but you never know.
Waller.
No.
Good guess, though.
Not bad.
Dawson Knox.
No, I don't think he's a free agent.
Okay.
It's a good guess, though. Love me Dawson Knox.
Yeah, he's great. Yeah, I don't think he's well, at least according to this website, he's not a free agent. 808 yards, 8 touchdowns, 17 games played, 25 years old.
Is it obvious?
If you think about it, yeah. High-powered offense. Obviously, I mean, his numbers. And I'll say this, and here's the most impressive thing. He probably isn't even the third best weapon on the team.
Dalton Schultz.
Boom, Casey. Taking it home. Dalton Schultz.
I needed that.
It's going to be a free agent.
Yeah, by the way,
that's
very
a dub.
Good. Very good.
Dalton Schultz is going to be a free agent.
You think they'll re-sign him?
You got to.
What,
yeah.
Do they have money? They can't possibly have any money.
Oh, I mean, they gave a lot to Zeke. I don't know.
They gave a lot to everybody.
I think eventually, I mean, then you franchise tag him. Like, you're not going to let that dude walk.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
You going to franchise tag an 800-yard, 8-touchdown guy?
You gonna let him walk?
I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know what else they have. The dynamic of their roster right now, looking at it like that. But that's it. I'll tell you what. After this conversation, again, we haven't talked football in a while. Like, we really haven't talked football.
It's refreshing.
Like, free agency is a month away. We'll see if maybe Trent Baalke's going to participate in that or continue the GM or assistant GM and coach search.
Yeah.
But, I mean, now it's almost like there are enough players out there worth spending some money on and trying to see if you're going to get some still good play at the age they're at. Like, we're not talking just 34-year-old guys. We're talking guys in their mid to late 20s that have produced or come with some pretty good reputation of at least having the ability to produce. That now I would say you better end up with one of those guys. Like, why wouldn't you end up with one of those guys? You got plenty of money. It's a position of need. And now you wouldn't pigeonhole yourself into one of these guys for the draft.
I honestly doubt the salary cap here.
So, I mean, I leave this conversation saying, hey, should they draft somebody at 33? You know, if that makes sense, it's like, forget about that. Go get one of these guys. Because as we say, a lot of times, like, tight ends are like a fine wine, man. They get better as it goes along.
True, and this dude's young.
So
I'm going to produce on the show a little bit since we're a little bit over. The next thing we're doing is golf picks.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
That is going to be a very short segment. We're coming back. We're doing golf picks. We're getting out. Nobody say anything else.
Got you.
So we have enough time to open cards.
We got
Where's the
open
tournament
cards. It's
Pebble Beach.
AT&T Pebble Beach over here. Pebble Beach.
I've heard of it. I've heard of it.
All right, let's get out of here on ESPN 690.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Partly cloudy skies tonight. Some areas of fog will drop into the low 50s. Another very mild day. Thursday will be partly sunny. Afternoon highs reach 75 to 80 degrees, a little bit cooler at the beaches. From the CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax First Alert Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds. Get the guaranteed lowest price at the only locally owned diamond store in the St. John's Town Center.
Transmission problems? Call Action Transmission Specialists on Merrill Road, where you get the work done right the first time by the experts. I'm Robin Sidbury, the owner. Our techs can service all makes and models, and we provide a nationwide warranty, so you have the peace of mind knowing we solve your transmission troubles fairly and honestly and guaranteed nationwide. Call us at Action Transmission Specialist on Merrill Road, where quality counts. Get traction. Call Action at 744-0755.
Your First Coast Accurate dealers are making it easier to buy than ever with 2.9% APR. Cash in on thousands in savings and 2.9% APR on the all-new 3-row 2022 Acura MDX SUV. FirstCoastAccurateDealers.com. Offer exclusive type S edition.
In today's world, there's a lot of ways to know what's happening. At Action News Jax, we make sure our local stories have more detail, so you get every angle that impacts you. We dig for answers because you deserve the whole story. Taking time to provide context so you're clear on what's really going on. Because we know information is thrown at you 24/7. And we want you to know that Action News Jax is local coverage you can count on.
It's that time of year when folks everywhere scratch their heads and wonder, what can I get my love for Valentine's Day? You know what your darling really wants from you to make them feel special? Finally updating the chipped and faded paint on your house. Rhino Shield is a revolutionary permanent ceramic coating that's a superior alternative to paint and vinyl siding. It comes with a 25-year warranty,
so you'll never have to paint again. Call Rhino Shield today.
Forever Vets Pet Resort at Durbin is officially open. Whether you're looking to board your pet during a vacation or looking for a place for them to play during the day, look no further. Forever Vets Pet Resort has officially opened its doors with roomy, climate-controlled indoor play areas for big and small dogs, shaded outdoor play areas with a splash zone, and private cat condos including access to a cat tree-filled oasis. Your pet will feel right at home. Forever Vets Pet Resort will provide a comfortable place for your pets while you're away and ensure your four-legged friend is safe and happy during their stay. Take advantage of a free day of play to all new clients. And if you purchase one night of boarding, you'll receive half off your next night. Want to learn more? Give us a call or go to forevervets.com. You can also stop by for a free facility tour. We're open 7 days a week with extended hours for your convenience. Forever Vets Pet Resort at Durbin is now open for reservations.
ESPN 690 is home for the Florida Sportsman Fishing Show hosted by Captain Rick Riles. Tune in every Saturday morning from 7 to 9 a.m. to find out what's biting now. Fishing so fresh, you can almost smell it.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Ready for an oil change? We can help get the right protection at the right price. Right now, you can get 5 quarts of Valvoline Daily Protection or Valvoline Max Life High Mileage Motor Oil with an STP oil filter for just $28.99. Visit one of our 6,000 stores or order from AutoZone.com for same-day store pickup or next-day delivery.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Cutting the price of your wireless bill feels good. Really good. Actually, it feels great. You should try it out. So cut your bill by switching to Straight Talk Wireless, now offering our $45 Silver Unlimited plan with 5 gigabytes of hotspot and nationwide 5G on America's largest, most dependable networks. The $45 Silver Unlimited plan from Straight Talk. Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise.
A month equals 30 days. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com. 5G capable device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
Watching TaxSlayer calculate your refund feels like climbing to the apex of a roller coaster.
Here we go!
And flying down the tracks. And maximum refund speed. Start for free and get your guaranteed maximum refund. TaxSlayer. File fearlessly.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Ready for an oil change? We can help get the right protection at the right price. Right now, you can get 5 quarts of Valvoline Daily Protection or Valvoline Max Life High Mileage Motor Oil with an STP oil filter for just $28.99. Visit one of our 6,000 stores or order from AutoZone.com for same-day store pickup or next-day delivery.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
The Rocket Mortgage Super Bowl Square Sweepstakes is back, and we're kicking off the action again with the largest official game of Super Bowl Squares ever. Here's the play-by-play. There's millions of dollars in prizes, and a bunch of lucky fans are gonna win big. Every single score change will draw one lucky winner from the square to win $50,000. That means touchdowns, field goals, extra points, safeties, even a 2-point conversion is a winner. 50 G's. Plus, 2 grand prize winners will win $500,000 they could use toward their dream home. There's 1 way to enter, 2 ways to win, and 0 reasons not to play. See rules and get in the game for free at RocketMortgageSquares.com. Rocket Mortgage, official mortgage sponsor of Super Bowl 56.
No purchase necessary. Legal residence of the 50 U.S. and D.C. of age of majority. Ends 11/11/22. Equal housing lender licensed all 50 states. NMLS number 3030. The NFL entities have not offered or sponsored this promotion in any way.
Hey, it's Brent Martineau from Action Sports Jax. Did you know you can watch our radio show? Yeah, video of a radio show. Just search ESPN 690 Jax on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Or follow me on Twitter at BrentASJax. Watch the show live weekdays from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. or listen on ESPN 690. Oh, man. It's golf picks time. The real butcher is me, Brent the Butcher. Stole the nickname from Austin because he hasn't made a cut since he made the nickname.
Careful now. I'm in second place still. Casey, you agree I'm in second place, though?
Quickest segment of the day because Brent won and actually guessed the winner last week. Luke List.
It is an incredible accomplishment. I won't downplay it.
That's twice this year already.
Nicely done.
So let's go. Golf Picks AT&T Pebble Beach. What's happening, Casey?
So, the situation, Austin second after getting cut again. Again, Brent wins, and I'm still in third. Here's the deal, Pebble Beach. Pretty legendary golf course. I think a lot of people would agree.
I've heard of it.
as Austin figured out in the break, there's nobody good playing in the event for the most part. So you're wondering why. Well,
yes.
Guys like Dustin Johnson, Xander Schauffele, Bryson DeChambeau, Phil Mickelson, who's won here 5 times, and a lot of European Tour players as well, got a pretty hefty check to play in a different tournament internationally. So
really?
They took the money instead of playing at Pebble Beach, so that's why you will see not that many good names in the field.
So like Ricky Fowler too, right? I didn't see him, or is he in it?
I don't know if he's in the other one. He's just bad right now.
Okay.
So with that being said, Brent, lead us off.
Oh, I get to go first.
Why not?
How about if I go with, I just saw a name and I love the name, Tom Hoagie.
Okay.
Tom Hogue.
Hoagie.
Tom Hogue. All right, we move on.
What do you want in your hoagie?
Give me some salami. Give me some capicola.
Oh, very nice.
Give me some, you know what I'm saying.
Little bologna?
No?
Nah,
it's all right.
Turkey?
Nah, ham.
No,
Give me some ham. Bacon.
Okay.
Give me pig like 5 ways.
We go.
Salted, yeah. We're getting off topic. Am I up?
You're up.
All right, let's start this out. Obviously, we talk about Pebble Beach. You guys obviously know I'm talking about the Witch Tree, right? The Witch Tree was a famous landmark at Pebble Beach, still got knocked down in 1962.
Wow, thanks for the history
lesson. Yeah, you're very welcome. But also, the Witch Tree was featured in that famous movie. You guys know it. Julie, that's right. In 1956, the movie Julie was featuring Doris Day. In that movie, she was fleeing her husband, who was a psychopath named Louis Jordan. Now, I got to find a guy who looks like a psychopath who was trying to chase down his wife. So with that being said, it was almost...
This could be bad.
It was almost... who's the first guy that I said, Casey?
Patrick Rogers.
Yeah, it was almost Patrick Rogers because he's got a beard, and psychopaths always have beards. Tell me I'm wrong. Watch any kind of murder mystery. Guy's always got a beard. But I got to go with Mr. Blue Eyes himself with those dead eyes looking right through this picture. Give me Matthias Schwab. Matthias Schwab.
Nice.
Good?
Good.
He's good?
He's decent.
Let's go.
He's good.
Look at him. Hey, tell me that dude ain't chasing you, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
he's got those cold eyes.
I thought for sure you were going to do this, and it had to be, you were going to guess which golfer's wife was named Julie.
Well, hey, Julie holds a soft spot in my heart because that's my mom's name,
That's
obviously. So, yeah. Give me Matthias Schwab.
Matthias.
I thought I had the name right.
What do you got?
Jason Day.
Day coming off a nice performance last week.
Yep, I need some points,
You
folks.
do.
Here's the thing: Jason Day's been horrible for like 3 years because of his back.
Yes, yeah.
And he's playing decent now, so there's a very good chance he shoots like 9 over and quits after the first day.
So here's the bummer about it. I was all excited because I could pronounce the guy's name right. Didn't even get it right. It's Matthias.
Think so.
Not Matthias.
But it could be. You were close. By the way, if
Man,
nobody really knows.
Spelling's hard, man.
Yeah,
nobody really
okay,
knows.
Okay.
I think it is Schwab, though.
Is he from the U.S.?
No, sir.
Not with those eyes.
I actually I'm placing a bet on him.
Really?
Yeah, highest finishing continental European player. I'm not kidding.
Yeah, but where do you
get
are you
that
going to
line?
Tony at the docks?
It's like plus. I think it's plus 220.
What prop bet?
You're going to the docks, aren't you?
No, it's on any website you may choose.
Going to
I'm dead serious.
That's not a short
Johnny
prop.
right
That's
there.
not like
No, it's
over
not.
71.5. That thing like stretches out like this far.
That's a two-toe wager right there.
We
man.
gotta
open
make
some
money where you
football
can.
cards when we get back. Bang time.
Let's go.
On ESPN 690.
Start your new year in a like-new car from the pre-owned experts at Arlington Toyota. Arlington Pre-Owned has over 300 used available. All makes, all models. Some even same model year. You've got to see it. And when it comes to buying with confidence, just leave it to my friends at Arlington. Their 30-day exchange program comes with your purchase. That's 30 days to love your pre-owned purchase or exchange it. Add some major excitement to your new year and an amazing new ride from Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned. In person, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard and online anytime at ArlingtonToyota.com.
Voted best gift of the year for golfers by the ESPN 690 Golf Enthusiast Review Board. Want to make the golfer in your life love you even more? Order the 2022 ESPN Dream 18 card for just $69. Big discounts on golf all year. Golf courses are raising their rates with the recent boom. The Dream 18 card has even more value now. For less than dinner for two at your favorite upscale restaurant, you will receive tremendously discounted rounds at some of the area's best golf courses. Golf Club at Southampton, St. John's Golf and Country Club, Hidden Hills, Osprey Cove, the Yards added this year, Amelia River Golf Club, Eagle Landing, Fleming Island Golf Club, and Queens Harbor Yacht and Country Club. Plus, you'll receive a free smoothie from Smoothie King, a free hat from Dome Hats, a free shirt at Baker's Sports, and a discount on a purchase at Palm Beach Autographs. Play 2 rounds of golf, and the card pays for itself. $69, that's it. Some of the proceeds go to the Dream 18 charity as well. Buy the card at Action Sports Jax, Dream18.com. Supplies are limited. Go to Action Sports Jax, Dream18.com.
When you're managing a business, answering phone calls is just another thing to pile onto an already busy day. If you miss a call, you risk ignoring a client or a potential client who wants to hire you. Smith AI solves this problem by handling calls for you. We're an award-winning 24/7 virtual receptionist service. Our professionals answer calls and schedule appointments. We even make outbound sales calls. That's a must-have if you're trying to manage and grow your business. Visit smith.ai to read our 5-star reviews and use code GROW for $100 off.
Men, did you know that over half of all males suffer from ED or PE?
Ladies, your man should talk to the specialists at Prime Men's Medical Center.
If Viagra, Cialis, or Levitra have let you down,
Men are now lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer, and it's affordable.
for a private consultation at Prime Men's Medical Center, call 904-664-8217.
See results on your first visit, guaranteed, or pay nothing.
Call 904-664-8217.
Do you know why you see so much camera footage of crimes? Wasn't the camera supposed to deter the crime in the first place? That's because they weren't Safe Touch cameras. You don't want to see someone breaking into your car. You want to see it before it happens. That's what Safe Touch cameras do. They alert you via text or video notification beforehand, giving you time to react to the situation. And Safe Touch cameras have 24/7 video storage in the cloud, the safest and securest way to store important events that only you, the Safe Touch customer, control. And here's the best news yet. You can get the Safe Touch surveillance system with 3-color cameras, 24-hour recording, secure storage for as little as $39.95 per month, including 24/7 service, cloud storage, and camera warranty. Camera installation is additional charge. This system will work with any security system or no security system at all. Or bundle the 2-way communicator package for additional savings. Find out how you can get a free survey and demonstration at safetouch.com. State license number EF0000233.
The Rocket Mortgage Super Bowl Square Sweepstakes is back, and we're kicking off the action again with the largest official game of Super Bowl Squares ever. Here's the play-by-play. There's millions of dollars in prizes, and a bunch of lucky fans are gonna win big. Every single score change will draw one lucky winner from the square to win $50,000. That means touchdowns, field goals, extra points, safeties, even a 2-point conversion is a winner. 50 G's. Plus, 2 grand prize winners will win $500,000 they could use toward their dream home. There's one way to enter, 2 ways to win, and 0 reasons not to play. See rules and get in the game for free at RocketMortgageSquares.com. Rocket Mortgage, official mortgage sponsor of Super Bowl 56.
No purchase necessary. Legal residence of the 50 U.S. and D.C. of age of majority. Ends 11/11/22. Equal housing lender licensed all 50 states. NMLS number 3030. The NFL entities have not offered or sponsored this promotion in any way.
Jackson Hewitt needs you to know 3 things about filing taxes this year. 1, there are thousands of dollars worth of new tax credits on the table. 2, you have to file for them to make sure you get the right amount. 3, a Jackson Hewitt Tax Pro will help track down every credit you deserve. Tax credits for being a parent, taking care of a parent, going to school, and so much more. You don't want to miss out on thousands. Jackson Hewitt knows that. Discover thousands in tax credits and get your biggest refund guaranteed. Learn more at jacksonhewitt.com.
Join ESPN 690 on March 5th for the Gate River Run. Registration for the 15K, 5K for charity, Junior River Run, and the Brooks Rehabilitation Mile Challenge is now open at GateRiverRun.com. Training information is available on the website. See you at the starting line.
Hey, we're going to open some cards here coming up, but real quick. The Washington Commanders.
Yeah.
First, the nickname.
Yeah. Should have been Wolves.
I really just think it should have stayed what it was. Washington football team.
Yeah.
No nickname. Did you want a nickname?
I wanted the Wolves. Okay. I think
so. You wanted the Wolves over the Washington football
Wolves.
team?
Yeah, the Wolves have been tough.
Casey? Commanders?
Imagine coming out of the tunnel. Woo! Like they turn off the lights and everything.
That would actually be pretty cool.
How cool would that have been?
Yeah, I'm sticking with the football team if I'm making decisions over there.
But, we say this all the time, right?
Yeah.
Nobody likes it. Because nobody ever likes the change. They never like it.
I think people would like the Wolves.
The Wolves would have been very, elementary, though. Every middle school team in the country is named the Wolves.
I beg to differ.
I get your point. I think I like that you're thinking of the production value and everything.
Yes,
and I think you're right. But
I'm thinking of branding. I'm thinking of.
Why did it have
really
to be
cool.
alliteration though?
Oh, it doesn't have to be. I just think Wolves is.
So couldn't they have been the Mountain Lions?
Yeah, but I think there's a lot more wolves there's wolves in Washington, like in the woods.
But in Washington D.C., there's wolves.
Well, in the state,
it'd be some really cool gear.
Yeah,
merch with the Wolves.
Yeah.
I guess.
Don't you think? Okay, next part, the uniforms.
Horrible. Well,
see, I just have no opinion. It doesn't matter.
See, no, you can't say that. You have to have an opinion on that.
The Pittsburgh
that's
Steelers?
your problem then. Look at the helmet. They took the logo off the side and put it on the front. Seriously, this isn't this isn't like a meme. This is literally there's a W on the front of their helmet and that's their logo. That's it.
Yeah,
that's
win,
horrible,
baby.
Yeah, that's horrible.
Wrong team.
Yeah, that doesn't look good.
Okay, so then you're.
But there are two different. There's a couple of different.
Well, yeah,
ones.
that's like the alternate one they would have.
Yeah,
yeah.
Don't love it.
Okay, so you're on board with us.
Yeah,
then?
that's fine.
Yeah. No, the other ones are kind of whatever.
Like color scheme and everything's cool. Whatever.
I'm not indifferent towards the other ones, but the helmet with the W in the front, it's going to be a no for me.
And then Gigantor says, "I can live with the name, but the uniforms are bad." Of course they are.
Yeah.
Because they're always bad.
Nah, man. Remember when the Chargers released theirs?
Yeah, those are pretty slick.
Nobody was saying anything
the Rams actually
about.
Have good ones too.
Rams are okay. Rams are okay. But the Chargers, man, they killed it.
Hey, is this a blaster break?
Yeah.
So it's a live 2021
Panini Illusions.
I think I should tweet at Panini. I'm going to do it. Panini cool. America.
Yep, that's them.
Illusions.
Yep, plus, and then you'll put the little plus.
Oh yeah, plus.
Oh, Illusions plus.
Illusions plus absolute.
Oh.
Absolute.
Yeah, gotcha.
And then if you really want the people to find it, put Kaboom Hunting.
Blaster.
That's the thing.
Hold on. Got some allergies. Blaster break.
Yep.
And Kaboom Hunting.
Yep.
Should I put a hashtag?
Hashtag locked and loaded.
Hashtag or no?
Got my,
sure. Yeah.
Yep.
Hashtag.
And then, of course, unfiltered, raw, uncut.
Kaboom. Brent.
Hashtag locked and loaded. Hashtag blah, blah, blah.
Casey, tell us what can happen here.
A lot, but
there's already a lot happening.
There is.
Live.
If we, yes, it
raw.
is live. Yep. Okay.
Uncut.
Yep.
Blah, blah, blah.
Unfiltered.
Nope.
Is that okay?
Yeah. Why not?
Looking for bangs.
If you do happen to hit a kaboom, like I told Austin in the break, stop what you're doing.
Yeah.
Hopefully your hands are clean, and we'll go from there.
All right.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who.
Here's the deal. We're not going to do the absolute yet. That's where you get the kaboom. But
okay.
there's so the kaboom potential, it's hard to get.
Yeah.
So like if, when we say bang, Will's been saying bang since the start of the show.
Yeah.
But like the kaboom would be like
bang, bang. And we're talking
everybody in the building needs to hear us say bang,
okay.
kaboom.
Yeah, like stop, jump out the window.
We're talking about we're not going to jump out the window.
Maybe just break it.
It's second floor. I can jump out the window. I'll make it. Put a table out there.
Some whiskey or vodka or whatever else we got over here.
But don't spill it on the card.
Okay, so
don't spill it on the card.
So the purple one, if we get a kaboom, we're shutting the show down a little bit and we're celebrating.
Yeah.
Trying to get those bangs. Okay.
By the way, Divoli's House of Cards down there in 210. This is where we've been card stopping and card shopping. See that? I got slogans all over the place.
Start things off with a rookie card right off the bat.
Out of Illusions?
Yeah.
What we got?
The Illusion cards are cool.
These are really cool.
Those are Amanda's favorite.
Davis Mills.
I told you, Davis Mills not bad. People are buying Davis Mills low right now.
Should we put it to the side? Just
put
in
it to
case?
the side.
Put it to the side. Put it to the side.
Yeah,
Brent, what do you got?
Hold on.
He's blowing his nose.
Brent's getting snot all over the cards.
I know.
Oh, that'll be bad.
Getting snot all over the cards.
Jerry Jeudy.
Okay. I got Rob Gronkowski.
Heard of him?
Yep.
Well, we're going to go a little quicker.
I got another rookie card.
What is this? This is a thick card.
Was it upside down?
Oh, no.
Instant Impact. Rondale Moore with a little cloth.
Oh, that's a jersey card.
It's a jersey card. That's good.
That's a good pick.
I was like, why are these cards sticking together? No, it's just one thick card.
So
it was upside down, right?
Yeah.
I saw that you had an upside down, so I knew you had something.
So that's good, right?
They put the inserts upside down.
So that's good. That's
yeah,
rare.
that's good.
Not bad.
Bang?
Can I touch
Bang.
the jersey?
Bang.
You can touch. Yes, you can touch.
Snot everywhere though. Gross.
No, yeah. That just adds to the game.
I got a rookie card. This next one's gonna be good. I got a rookie card. Des Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, we move on.
This one
Dwayne Eskridge.
This thing is cool.
Oh, I should mention Tebow's in this set as a Jag.
Really?
Really?
Yes.
Huh.
Would it be worth anything?
No.
Oh, come on.
They have cool. What do you got? I know you have an insert. Of some
Yeah,
sort.
I got a clear shots. Trey Lance.
Beautiful.
Is that gonna be a bang?
I mean, it's a good card.
Bang.
Do.
Is a jersey a bang?
This thing is cool.
Yes, I told you it was a bang.
Oh, I didn't say bang.
yeah.
Sorry. That's a cool looking card.
This thing's awesome.
I'll tell you what, this Illusions is my new favorite.
Yeah.
Nick Chubb.
We move on.
Aaron Rodgers.
Rondale Moore rookie card. Yeah.
We got all the Rondale Moore right now.
Are we still? We're all over rookies still, right?
Yes.
That's still what matters. George Kittle.
Sam Darnold. You want this one, Casey?
That's okay.
Okay.
Thank you, though.
Do you want that, Casey?
You want that one? All right.
All right.
So I'm saving the Trey Lance clear shots?
Yeah, I'll put it in top loader.
That looks cool. I don't care, man.
Yeah, I tell you what, even if it's worth 40 cents, like your autograph one, like it's still worth, it's cool.
Yeah, yep.
I told you I'm building my Trey Lance stuff like crazy.
All right, so now are we going to the absolutes, Brent? These are the.
Listen, we got a kaboom.
We got a kaboom. Trying to get the giant bang here.
By the way, we got 3 days of this. We're pacing ourselves.
Yep.
Good start, though.
It's pretty good. I like the instant impact of Rondale Moore was pretty good. I wish he really had more of an instant impact. But
I'm trying to get that Mandy Moore hairstyle, the bangs.
Okay, so just so we don't set ourselves up for failure.
You got that one.
This is like, they were going to get a lot of nothing.
Yeah.
Right?
Really? Okay.
That's going to.
Oh, no, there's rookies in there.
You don't want to get pretend excited, is my point.
Okay.
So we got De'Ami Brown.
Something's upside down.
From North Carolina receiver.
Okay.
Do you have something upside down?
I got Nico Collins. Not yet. Maybe not.
Trey McKitty.
I got a rookie card. Carlos Boogie Basham. Basham?
Sure.
Call him Boogie.
Boogie.
Mac Jones rookie card.
Really?
Yeah.
That's good.
Bang.
Yeah,
for
bang.
sure.
Bang, baby. Yeah.
How's Mac doing? Kenneth Gainwell.
He said, yeah.
I've had all rookie cards so far. Kylan Hill. Packers, yeah.
I got a buy Storm. Ian Book.
We keep moving.
No, you getting up?
Yeah.
What do you got, Will Fuller?
That was almost bad.
Yeah, keep going, yeah.
Oh.
I have a Will Fuller in Miami, though.
Hey!
In Miami.
In the actual fit?
In the fit.
He's so excited to get the silly putty out.
Yeah, man. You gotta put him on.
Like, I thought he was getting up to do kaboom. I thought he had lost his mind for a second.
Well, no.
Well, that's why I was
did.
Oh, that's a little green foil on that Will Fuller.
Oh, seriously? I didn't even notice.
See how his name's in green?
We got a Will Fuller. We get more excited. Bang.
Hey, that's a bang. I don't care.
That's a bang for South Beach, Gary.
Sorry, South Beach. My bad.
Hey, Jalen Ramsey.
Okay.
I'm going to keep that one.
Go ahead.
Maybe I'll send it to him, see if he'll autograph it. LaVisca Chenault.
Yeah.
I got a Marquise Brown. Yeah.
Khalil Mack.
Odell Beckham Jr.
Miles Sanders.
Sam Darnold.
Two for two.
You want to know Sam Darnold?
Yeah, I'll take him both.
All right, man.
I guess my big card there was Ian Book.
Really?
You can really buy low, folks, on Ian Book.
There you go. There you go.
Gonna put my
Get
Mac
it
Jones
now.
to the side.
Who else is going to be the Saints quarterback?
There you go.
All right, bro. How you feeling about that one so far?
I actually kind of liked it. But
Yeah, it was
listen,
all right.
my expectations are a little low on the kabooms, but if we get one kaboom, man, it's got to go crazy.
I mean, do these cards look pretty cool? I got to see what these cards look like.
Yeah, look it up.
Yeah.
But maybe off the air.
All right, we got to go. Back at it tomorrow. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. We have FSU basketball against Clemson tonight. FSU trying to get off the losing streak a little bit. You can listen to it right here on ESPN 690. A lot of National Signing Day stuff from around the area today on TV, CBS 47 and Fox 30. Have a good night, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow if the Jags are any closer to getting a new head coach. Have a good one.
Now is the time to get an estimate on replacement windows. American Window Products of Jacksonville is a high-volume dealer offering a huge selection of products to keep your costs low. New windows from American Window Products can lower your energy costs and increase your curb appeal and security, all without breaking the bank. Call American Window Products for a free estimate at 904-667-0873 or visit AmericanWindowProducts.com.
I'm Susan Appleton, owner of Appleton Communication and a Jax Chamber member. I'm so grateful to have the opportunity to serve the Jacksonville Women's Business Center on the Society of Small Businesses and to work with women business leaders in Northeast Florida. I'm proud to be a part of JWBC by offering women the opportunity to enhance their communication strategies and relationship building skills as a venture leadership facilitator. JWBC continues to innovate resources and education and provides women entrepreneurs the space to network and prosper alongside each other. This support is invaluable to women in business, and I am most thankful to be a part of it. For more information, visit jaxchamberfoundation.org.
Hey, does your car still only play CDs? No Bluetooth? No CarPlay? You've got an old car, my friend. You know what's better than an old car? A less old car. Get a car or truck that's new to you with a great used car loan from 1-to-1 Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union. Get pre-approved for a loan and shop at any dealership in town. Get a low rate and get rid of that old car today. Apply online at 1to1fcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA.
Well, the holidays are behind us, and that means nothing but open road ahead.